everybody, and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, Absolutely Lower League, the show dedicated to everything from the EFL Championship, League One, League Two, the Vanarama National League, Vanarama National League North, and the Vanarama National League South. And of course, I don't know if anybody noticed, but we have finally got our new music. Yay!
Whee!
I just wanted to say,
magnificent, by the way.
I know, it's so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say as well, a massive shout out to, it was actually Sam's friend who did this. And as you've all noticed, every show now does have its new updated intros, which we did have to do. We like updating it now and again. It needs to be refreshed, doesn't it? But Sam did message me before and he asked if we can give a shout out to Andy, his friend's called. And if anybody does need any music for their podcast or anything, just speak to Sam and he can point you in the right direction. I wanted to do that now because I probably will forget at the end. But I love it. But of course, it's not just me. There's a lot of us tonight. I'm loving this gang. It's like hashtag squad goals, isn't it? Massive squad goals. But you know what? I'm going to start with someone. Well, there's two people I've not seen in a very long time. I'm going to start with Dan the Man. How are you? And how's your week been? We've missed you.
I'm all right. It's been way too long, far too long, and I'm just glad to be back. Sometimes you just need to recharge the batteries, and I'm hopefully going to get back into the swing of things. Work now, is non-existent, but that aside, we're going to try and push on and get through it. And no, thank you again for just letting me be a part of it, because I thought I'm just like shit on your shoe in the bottom corner. Nobody wants me anymore. I'm just there.
We always want you on this podcast. We've missed you so much.
That's it. I'm back. Take that. I'm back for good.
Yes. I'm going to hold you to that now. Every week, you're not allowed a day off.
Right. There. Sold.
All three.
Happy days.
Someone else who we haven't seen in a while. Kieran, how are you and how's your week been? What's new with you?
Very similar to Dan. It's been far too long since I've been on here. So long that I've got a fancy microphone, a fancy camera, a fancy computer. I've had all this stuff and I was like, I can't wait to get on podcasts.
But Newport's still crap. I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
To be fair, if anything, we've gotten worse. It is what it is. That's the resounding thing that still stays the same. But yeah, all good. Unfortunately, either I'm working a Thursday or I'm working a Friday, but I've got tomorrow off. So I thought, you know what, we'll jump on the pod now. I'm not in work now until next Thursday, but you know what, I'm going to make it an effort to actually come on next Thursday as well. But yeah, I'm back. Everything's good. Newport are crap. The world keeps spinning.
Just standard. Standard. I'm joking. Right. My favourite person, Ben. How are you and how's your week been? My favourite person. You are.
I'm all right. You know, I'm still in awe of that intro music. Honestly, that completely threw me, to be honest. That's cracking work. All good. Week's been all right. Ripping a shirt that's nearly 10 years older than me today. Could have been better though. We could have had a couple of wins along the way this week to make it even better, but such is life. We're shit. So, all good. How are you?
I'm really, really good, thank you. Like, best week ever. Best week ever. I'm still on a high from that voice note that you sent me. Like, I'm on a high still. The best thing ever, that. My favourite present.
That must be some statement then.
It's a good job you didn't send a link for this week's show to your mum, because she'd have heard that and she'd have been fuming.
Yeah. I know. Oh no, she won't be bothered. She actually bought me this headset as well. This is one of my favourite presents, and my kids, bless them. They went to the club shop and they bought me a Grant Holt scarf, because we're doing like a legend scarf. Grant Holt is like, apart from me and Henderson, my all-time favourite Rochdale player, and they knew it, bless them. So it was so cute. And if my sister's watching as well, because she does watch this podcast a lot, every present that she bought me was my favourite also. Just had to get that in because I know she does watch it.
Well, like yourself out of that really massive hole that you dug. Like, you've
Keep
like,
doing it. I need a shovel for my next birthday. Anne, how are you and how's your week been?
I'm all right. Yeah, it's been a bit of an up and down week because obviously you've got my dad in hospital at the minute. He's recovering from quite a nasty operation. So yeah, just absolutely shattered mixing that in with work and stuff. And then obviously go to watch Sunderland because we were at home twice this week. So yeah, I'm good. But hope you had a lovely birthday. I was going to sing for you tonight, but I don't think we should. I think we might ruin it.
You can sing to me if you want.
I might later on.
I'll sing to myself if you want me to. That is a level of sad, that isn't it? If I sing to myself, but send your dad so much love from all of us as well.
Yeah,
I will. Thank you. Yeah, like I say, he's still on the ward. He's still resting and recovering and all that. He's covered in bruises, bless him. But you know, he's in good spirits, so that's good news anyway.
Oh, bless him. Jen, how are you and how's your week been?
Not great.
Oh.
Apart from football, it's been all right, but the football side's getting a bit tough now. But 10 cup games to go. Let's just put it that way. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm all right. I'm doing all right.
Glad you're good. Rebecca, last but not least, how are you and how's your week been? Please, positive.
Yeah. I'm very well, thank you.
high five.
Still coming off a bit of a high from our first ice hockey dedicated fixture on Saturday, which was really good. That I was really heavily involved in the planning of and getting everything sorted for that. And then at Accrington, can we stop playing on Saturdays and just move to Tuesdays? Can't win on Saturdays, but Jesus Christ, we're incredible on Tuesdays at the minute.
Love a good Tuesday, don't they?
Yeah.
Unless you're local and live around the stadium, then not so much.
Touch on that later. I've not read that. I've just caught glimpses of what you've said in obviously our group chat. So definitely speak about that later because I'm intrigued. But I just wanted to say how proud we are of you as well with all the work you do, but especially that because I know how much it meant and the hard work and everything you do. We're all incredibly proud of everything. You all do as well. But of course.
I know, how many shovels do you need tonight?
I know.
The headphones will come in wonders when she's got one of them drills because she just has to keep digging further down.
I know. I'm trying to be nice, but I'm digging holes while I'm doing it. But someone save me. Chris will save me. The chat will save me. We've got some updates. I'll give you updates first. League 2 latest, Bromley 1, Walsall 0. We've got Europa League latest. That's not right now, I don't think. I'm sure.
No, he's corrected it later on.
Yeah. Oh, we've not got any long ones tonight. We've only got short ones. Kyle has put, good evening, legends. We have got as well. He's put 1-1, Bruno Fernandes. We have got Spurs, they're winning. We have got Luke. He's put, I'll read everyone. Not been the best myself. Personally, was sick during the night on Monday and then he'd losing on Saturday. Spend the rest of my days getting better. Oh, I hope you're feeling better. Get well soon. Michael, he's a Dale fan. Derby Day on Saturday. I know. Steve has put massive panel. Yeah, really big panel tonight. Really big panel. Holy moly, we've got a crowd. And then Luke has put, holy moly, where did everyone come from? Has to be the most I've seen on the pod. I don't know. We used to have quite a few, didn't we?
I can't remember being this many. I can't remember having 3 rows.
What we'll say is Shah got a lot of birthday money and gave us all a tenner each. So we're all in.
Yeah.
I did.
The best present.
Ben got 20 quid though. Ben got 20 quid because he got a message.
He's my favourite. Sean put, evening all, hope you're doing well. Midlands derby on Saturday for Northampton against HMS Pistol League. We've got as well Johnny, hey Shah, Ben, Ant, Jem, Rebecca, and Kieran. Hope you're all doing well. Johnny was fuming with me because he said apparently he likes my pink headphones and he doesn't like these ones as much. The pink ones
like
for him.
them.
And thank you.
Yellows
Thank you.
so they are.
It's my favourite colour, yellow.
Johnny also needs one of them.
Colour works for
One
me,
of them
sure.
happening shovels. It looks like.
He does.
I like how Johnny's wished everyone hello, but then basically damned it, fuck off.
I'll just hide. I'm not really here.
You spelled my name wrong as well. Bloody, I'm fuming.
He spelled Kieran wrong.
My life.
Never mind.
Sean's fuming. Claire's not here.
But I've run fuming tonight. What the fuck?
Where's Claire?
No, Claire is Claire. Yeah, I'm already poking the bear. Chris, Ben's wearing a hat. I can't remember the last time he did. When was the last time you wore a hat, Ben? Chris wants to know. I can't remember.
I mean, I don't wear one here, but I always wear one outside because have you seen the state of this recently? It's getting worse. So this is to protect it now.
I feel really bad that I'm the only member of the top row who hasn't got a cap on. I might have to go and find one. Just
get one. Go on, Anne.
I don't know. I might put it on the side here, so we've got one on the front, one on the side. I'll have one somewhere, man. I'll be back.
Priorities,
we've got a
guys.
question for you, Jen.
Well, shit. There's your answer. We'll be bottom of the league coming this Saturday. Don't worry about it.
We've got Simon. He's put evening all. Hope you're okay, Simon. I agree. Super Sam Waller in goal. And then he's put
Quality keeper.
Sorry. Quality keeper. I love him. I want to sign him. Can you please give him to us on a free?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll run it past him. I'll say Shaw said, and then just I don't even need to say more. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, right, yeah, there's done.
Exactly. Thank you. Johnny has put, sorry, I forgot you were there, Dan.
It's all right. Easily missable.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Not a chance.
There we are.
Yes. I feel like I need to put that side now. So then we sort of like meeting in the middle.
There we are. All right, stop moving the hats around. You're confusing me here. I don't know what's going on.
All right, calm down, Kieran. With your Craig David style going on, I like it.
I do have my Craig David style. Yeah.
Do you know what? I feel like I should be at the bottom because I'm the host. I'm like on my own, like here. Yeah. We've got Graham as well. He's put, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Graham. Hope you're okay. Oh, we've got another goal.
Ugh. Boring. Boring Walsall.
But we do have a lot of football to talk about. And we are going to start with National League South. Do you want to talk Maidstone, Ben, or do you want to talk the rest of the league?
I mean, there isn't much to talk about Saturday because it was probably one of the most boring games I've watched all season. I don't think anything happened. So I don't think until probably the last 10 minutes. I mean, we hit the bar. They probably could have had a couple of goals themselves. Hornchurch, difficult surface, but it was always going to end 0-0. I think from the first 20 minutes, to be honest, it was just so bad. Two teams just lumping it forward the whole time, absolutely asking no question of each other. Yeah, there really isn't much more to say there. Like, I mean, I know we say we don't talk about 0-0s, but really there isn't one to really talk about this because literally nothing happens. You can put Saturday's results if you want to.
Yeah. Pick them up.
I mean, to be fair, Saturday's was probably as straightforward as it could have been, really.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any, big surprises in there, to be honest. I think maybe, another big win for Enfield at Salisbury, who obviously are down the bottom with them. I mean, they've had a couple of iffy results, Enfield, after hitting some form recently, but they've suddenly, picked up again. Had a very good week. Obviously, when we talk about Tuesday, they've got another good home win as well against Hampton. So they're in a really good position in that to stay up at the moment. I think they're 5 points clear of the relegation zone, which I would not be able to predict that, just 2 months ago when they were sitting at the bottom of the league and they had absolutely no hope. They were one of the worst teams I've seen this in, if not the worst. But whatever they've done there, they've not changed management. They've not changed that squad really. They've just had a bit of belief about them. And, it's funny how confidence plays a massive thing for a relegation side. I think if you get one win, they suddenly get 2 or 3. So they're on a great run of form at the moment. But yeah, again, as well, Truro picking up another 3 points. They're really good place at the moment. Truro, they're just picking up win after win. Tyler Harvey's firing them in at the moment. I think every time I'm seeing, our games, I'm tweeting our game, I'm always seeing their tweets coming through, and it's always Tyler Harvey scoring. So he's the man at the moment, and he's going to be a major difference for him if they are to, have a real serious push for the promotion. Because at the moment, really, it could be between them and Worthing for the title. I keep changing it week by week. I think it is now Worthing's to lose. I think now because they still have the game in hand. But they're just finding ways to win Worthing, and they're still doing it convincingly. So that's probably where probably the league stands at the moment. And if Worthing do go on and win it, then absolutely fair credit to them, because they were the best side that they've come to the Gallagher this season. Personally, in terms of the way they play, real joy to watch. It's got some good rural quality, particularly in that final third. Lots of Cashman and Mo Fowle and Liam Nash, who have just recently got in. They're in massive, brilliant form at the moment. So hopefully, for them, they can keep that form going, because they were probably unlucky to miss out last year on promotion. So I think maybe this year might be their year now.
Just quickly go into the chat. Sean has put, Super Marky White winning Gaffer of the Month, things we love to see. It's a jinx. It is a jinx. Chris has put, big news from National League South, Jay Saunders to leave Tonbridge Angels at the end of the season.
Yeah, that came as a bit of a surprise, that did, actually, because Jay's done. Obviously, we know Jay so well because he's our most successful manager since the club reformed for us. With 3 promotions in 4 years, kept us up, twice in the National League. And to be fair to him, look, he's done well, wonders at Tunbridge with such a small budget they've got to be 9th in this league. And their supporters are probably unhappy that they're not, in a playoff position at the moment. That's how much Jay's done a good job. Because when I looked at their squad at the start of the season, I thought they'll be flirting with relegation. But Jay Saunders just knows how to, tactically, he's very aware. He's, a very good man management. He's one of the real good guys in football. I've always got a lot of time for Jay, and I think a lot of the managers in this league would say the same thing. And I think he's just said he wants a fresh challenge. There's a few clubs I think that are after him, probably in the local area. So I'd be interested to see what sort of project he goes for. It depends who he goes for, but that would be a big miss for Tunbridge, and whoever they get in, they've got big shoes to fill. Because obviously they're going to comfortably stay up this year. That'll be fine for them, and they're probably not going to make the playoffs. But next year's a big year for them, because if they don't get it right in the summer, I could see them really, struggling and for relegation next year. So, yeah, big shoes to fill down at the Angels.
Just moving on now, obviously, we had some Monday games and we had some Tuesday games. Any standouts on here for you, Ben?
I must say, obviously we've just mentioned them, but Worthing, to be fair, they came back. To be honest, I looked at the score for a long time. They were 1-0 down to Aveley, and I thought if they lose that, suddenly it opens up again. But the title-winning sides always find a way to win. Always, whatever they finished form. I think Danny Cashman got 2. I think, didn't they? In 2 in the last sort of 10 minutes, and that just shows that they've got the skill, the know-how to win games of football, because they really struggled a bit at the start of the season. They were probably very unlikely to make playoffs at one stage, but I don't know what's happened there. They've added a couple of bodies. The management's probably changed the style a little bit for them, but it's works, and they're finding their ways to win. Looking at it, well, there's a good win for Weston, because the Supermare have been, in a bit of indifferent form recently. Because of that, now they've closed down on us, down to a couple of points. So obviously now we've got, no room for error really anymore. I'd expect them to win at Weymouth, but at the same time they've probably been under a little bit of pressure, thinking they've been up there all season and they don't want to miss out on a playoff spot. And I think it is between us and them now for that last playoff space. But really, against Salisbury, picking up a good draw against Torquay as well. Not easy on a Tuesday night, particularly the position that Salisbury are in, especially after, defeat to relegation rivals on Saturday, to go to a side near the top, another 4,000 in, I think, at Torquay, and to get a draw there, tremendous result for them. And they're just slowly moving away. They still need probably about another 3 wins, I would say, to probably stay in the division, but it so could all change. That's the thing, because some of the teams in the bottom 4, particularly your Wellings and your St Albans, needs to find wins now, because otherwise that gap's going to get bigger and bigger, especially in the form that especially Enfield are in. So it's going to be certainly, going down to the wire, I think, I reckon to the last day of the season really wouldn't surprise me.
Do you want to talk about your game?
Do you know what? It was a good spectacle, I thought. A few people said it wasn't great, and I thought it was a really good advert for the league, to be fair, in terms of we've established, I think, in recent years now a healthy relationship with Dorking. I think that we've had those rivalries, we've had our run-ins over the years. They've always got the better of us, pretty much most of the time. I'm just glad this year, obviously, unless we meet them in the playoffs now, we've gone unbeaten against them this year. And for a long time, it probably didn't seem like that. Look, Mark White, honestly, I think 5 years ago, no one would have, even looked at him like, with any sort of, smile or anything like that. Wouldn't even give him the time of day. First thing he comes into the ground is everyone wants a photo with him. All of our supporters are asking for selfies with him and trying to, get that bit of banter with them. Like, he was absolutely loving it. Apparently, that's what their media team would tell me. Oh, he absolutely loves it. Getting photos and just the way he is and everything. And do you know what? Like, he was so complimentary of us on Tuesday because he loves the way the clubs run. He loves the big crowds. To be fair, it's probably the best atmosphere we've had in a league game this season. I think, to be fair, massive credit to the 250 Dorking fans that came down to us, because on a Tuesday night, never stopped singing the whole game. And to be fair, our supporters were probably near the same. It took a while for it to get going. We should have scored after about 2 minutes. Ruben Shaq-Poke, if he had a bit more time with us, he probably would have buried out. It's probably a bit too early in the game. Alexis Andre Jr. had to be alert. He made a brilliant save from Alfie Rutherford, in the first half, and then saved the 1-on-1 and gave him in the second half. It wasn't a game really a few chances we created, to be honest. Again, probably a bit like Saturday. And then they got their sort of, they had a bit of a spell, Dorking, where they were keeping ball and we couldn't seem to get rid of it. And then, all of a sudden, break us through. It was a lovely goal, to be fair, actually a well-worked goal. They have the ball squared back for Rutherford, who scored in, put into an empty net. And, you're thinking, this will be, we can't afford to lose this game. I mean, just in the way it's been going, and especially the fact we are struggling for goals at the moment again, as we have been for the last couple of months. We huffed and puffed, and to be fair, we changed the shape of the last 10 minutes. We put Charlie Seaman, who'd been playing sort of, more of a right back position. We put him to sort of, a left of a front three, and it did work because they struggled with him. I think in the closing stages, I think fatigue was starting to show a little bit for Dorking. Eventually, Seaman got in a cross sort of 89th minute, and I thought it was Tom Lee. He put the ball in from my angle, but it was an own goal. And maybe hints of a foul, possibly. I'm not sure. I don't think it was quite for me. I think there wasn't enough in it. But yeah, it was a bit of relief around, really, because I just didn't want to go into Saturday's game, because Saturday is a must win for us now against Chippenham. If we want to stay in the playoff places, really, because especially the fact we've still got to play Western as well. We've got Western at the beginning of next month, and that could potentially be a playoff decider as to who gets in the playoffs. So it's too tough to call at the moment. I just don't think. I mean, I've said it for weeks now. We're not good enough to go up. I think, to be perfectly honest, even at this stage, I don't think I want us to get in the playoffs, really, because I can't see us going up. I think we're the weakest team out of the teams in there. I think their team's stronger than us, and the only thing I'd give me hope is the fact we'd be away for all the preseason, all the playoff games, and we've probably got a little bit less pressure on us away from home. So yeah, it's a difficult one, but I think, to be fair, if we made the playoffs, I think we'd be very lucky at the moment to have 7. I think either one of us or Western and get that 7th spot is very lucky to be in the playoffs, to be honest, because we just can't seem to win games of football, both of us. So yeah, it's a shame. But I guess the main positive of the night was getting your voice message from Mr. White. It was. I nearly bothered. I looked and thought, do I go and do it? I thought, I'll go on. I got to do it. She'd kill me if I didn't do it. And I bottled it. Do you know what? That's the thing, as I know, we know Mark's love for the podcast, and obviously his love for you, Shah, as well. As soon as I mentioned it to him, I worked on the podcast, I said, "Oh, Shah, yeah, I know it, yeah." Straight away, and then I put it onto him, and honestly, I could not stop laughing when he was doing it over the that. So yeah, a massive credit to him, absolute class act. He didn't have to. He didn't have to do that, and especially for what he did for all of our supporters and everything. It's great to have a bunch of amateurs down as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing the video from their side. So all in all, fairly good Tuesday night compared to Saturday.
Honestly, it was so funny because I was there at the Dale game, and then when it came through, and obviously I didn't see it at first, and then I listened to it, I was like, oh my God, I was like, I've got a birthday message off Mark White. Dale fans were going, Dawkins, Mark White, let's have a listen. And then at the end, when he goes up the effing Rochdale, I'm like, yeah. But honestly, that made my life. So thank you so much, Ben. I really appreciate that. It made my absolute life.
I was going to get a selfie with him, but I was like, no, I've asked him for enough now. I don't want a selfie with him. I don't want to be that guy. Birthday message was enough, to be honest.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, he's my absolute hero. Absolute hero. We've got Russ in the chat. He's put evening, everyone. Just wanted to remind everyone as well, if I haven't read your comment, it's because you don't have to send it again. It's just because obviously it's not the right time to read the comment. But yeah, John has just mentioned it's not football related, but he's had a bad week and he's glad the pod's on tonight. And thank you so much for putting a smile on his face. You are very welcome. But yeah, just a quick reminder of that because sometimes it can get lost in the chat, but majority of the times I do star them. But yeah, National League South table. Just bear with me 1 minute. I had a tickly cough. It's still not gone, this cough. It happens every single Thursday, I swear. But yeah, National League South table. So top we have Worthing on 74 points. Truro City a second on 73 points. Boreham Wood a third on 71 points. Dorking Wanderers a fourth on 71 points. Eastbourne Borough a fifth on 69 points. Torquay United a sixth on 68 points. And Maidstone United are seventh on 64 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have St Albans City, who were 21st on 33 points. Welling United are 22nd on 33 points. Weymouth are 23rd on 25 points. I can't even see tonight. And Averley are bottom of the National League South on 24 points. Just a quick look. Sean has put, did you ask for a signed leather jacket, Ben?
I wish to. I think he had it on and everything like that. I thought he just looked typical. Do you know what? It's funny as well because I think one of the first comments he got, actually, he was on his phone. He's always on his phone. He is before the game, I think. And he was walking off, and a couple of supporters saying, "Hey, have a bit of respect. Like, get off your phone." And he's going, "Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of your mum." I was just like, "Oh my God!" That's so fun. I really hope they caught that on the gold cameras. That'd been brilliant. Unfortunately, we weren't successful with that. To be honest, his jacket's probably worth more than I could ever pay for. So he's good at it.
Oh, thank you so much, Luke, as well. We've got our very own Sam as well. Hello, wonderful team. Look at all those smiling faces. Hope you're all having a great week. And thank you again, Sam, for your friend sorting out the music. Everybody loves it. Everybody loved it at the start. So thank you so much for that. So we best get on to, we are on National League North. Any standouts for anybody? I'm just going to have a quick drink of water.
Buxton.
What happened?
Wow.
Pull down around there. Where's Spennymoor again? I know they only drew.
I'm just glad that Uncle Nick doesn't do the match reports for Oxford anymore because I don't really want the dregs.
What happened to him? What is that?
At home as well, that's the thing. Like, you know, away from home, you might be able to get him. Even then, it still would have been a surprise. But, you know, especially Bucks have slipped a little bit in the last sort of month or so where they looked like they were going to be comfortably in the playoffs. So yeah, that was certainly given a bit of the morale boost that they would need, I'm sure. But how much damage that did to Oxford? I know they've still got a couple of games in hand at the bottom, but that could be a right damaging result for them, you know, come, you know, well, probably the end of this month anyway, going into the last month of the season.
I can't look away from that. Well, it's a terrible week in the National League North.
It is, isn't it? It's a horrible week because they lost again on Tuesday night. Well, they were getting beat off Scarborough last time I checked, and then they were getting beat 2-0. So I thought, well, they're going to get hammered.
Oh dear!
It's off safety, to be fair. No, they're not far off. It's still to play for, but it is a case of if Oxford don't take advantage of those games in hand, I think they could be in trouble needing. But you know, there's still plenty of twists and turns. I don't think because Ratcliffe, I don't think are completely safe yet, albeit they're still they're in a not bad run of form at the moment compared to where they were, but it's still not over the line for them. They certainly won't be thinking that either. It's still look for them. They've still got 10 games to go, so that's a lot of points to play for. Still 30 odd points. At this moment, Needham could still finish. Up near the playoffs at this stage. It's obviously that much in it still. So yeah, it's a tough one, but I think as well, don't know what's been happening to Chester recently because Chester have slipped down a little bit. I mean, albeit they're still third. But I think a result like that against, one of your promotion rivals might hurt a little bit. And the pressure's now on Scunthorpe now because now they are where they should be as a football club in that league because they've been not really at the top all season, as in sitting top. And now it's all in their hands again. And be it Chester and Brackley aren't far behind. I think it's going to be between those three now. I think the gap's too big for Kidderminster to make up. But it's going to be between those three now with the title. And if you had put your money in it, it's hard to say, but I think that just because that everyone's probably expecting to, and I think the crowds will come out, for those last few games. I reckon Scunthorpe are probably going to do it now. I had them probably back to the start of the season to win that league, and I think I'm going to stick with that. I think they should go on and do it now.
Just quickly go into the chat. We've got a few people. Chris has mentioned, I was going to touch on this. Big news from National League North, Jim Bentley parting ways with Southport. They've been on quite a bad run, haven't they, as of late, Southport. So it didn't really surprise me when the news came out. I am gutted for Jim Bentley, though, to be fair. I do like Jim Bentley. Can't speak. I know. What was in my water? I promise it's water. Big win for Warrington against Rushall. Yeah, completely agree. Chris has also mentioned Oxford had a man sent off and Buxton just scored the goals. Yeah.
A good few of them as well. Fair play.
Good few. The game wasn't decided by a goal.
That was decided by 7. Yeah.
7 goals.
If you go down to 10 men, though, you still shouldn't capitulate in that fashion.
No.
You go down to 9, then maybe fair enough, but down to 10, that should still not be an excuse for Oxford. I'm sure
sometimes at 10 men, it's harder to play against as well. So I'm very surprised that at 10, Arse has fallen out.
I always find that as well. And I know Ross Jenkins, he's got high standards, obviously being Broad Wood at the start of the season. He's worked with, pretty solid defences. And that's probably one of his, probably worst days as a manager so far. I really wouldn't surprise me if that's what he said after the game. But that's he's got to find a way now picking them up now for Saturday because that's going to, albeit, they would have played during midweek. But yeah, that's a killer for that one.
A chocolate teapot is how I will analyse them. A chocolate teapot. Just melted. Really sad. Really sad. Poor Oxford.
It was sad.
That in such is it monotone voice as well?
Listen, I know we're getting closer to a certain division, but I'd rather not talk about it. So the mood's just going to keep decreasing until there, and it'll go.
To be fair, Kieran, it was like Eeyore was reading it out.
Thank you for that, mate. I really appreciate it.
I've just been looking at some fixtures, right? Needham Market are away to Spennymoor on Tuesday night. I might have a look down. Sit with me fellow Needham Market fans.
Needham.
Go on, Needham.
Just on Spennymoor as well, obviously, Chris has put in the chat, being ill for a week, so short reports. Peterborough Sports at home. Corey McKee, is it McKee? I can't see it. McKeown, scored just before half time, but Ryan Fryer scored on the 60th minute for a draw. Buxton away, lost to a 92nd minute goal at Buxton.
Ouch.
I know, very short then, compared to last week anyway. I hope you're feeling better anyway, Chris. Johnny mentioned as well, same with Rushall, need to get a few wins. And the Lloyds with an impressive win at Hereford, South Shields, impressive win. Paul has mentioned. Any more in the chat? Needham Market and a laughing face, Lucas put. And Chris has put, you're always welcome, Anne.
Might be there on Tuesday. See what happens.
You just have Ant leading all the Needham chant.
What's up with that?
Needham
Massive.
You know the Needham fans there. He's me.
Oh, this has to happen. Make a vlog.
Yeah, make a few. You gotta make a few chants for this one as well. I think we need to rehearse them, and we need to get rehearsed, man.
Yeah, I'll think of a few.
Chris has put as well, doctor's appointment tomorrow, Shah. I haven't been able to get rid of his cough. I know, I can't get rid of mine. I think there's something going round at the minute. But I hope you are feeling better really soon. I hope you're all right in time for the semi-final anyway, Chris. Against Dale.
Yeah.
I know. So, Tuesday's fixtures. Any standouts on here for anyone?
Look at that result at the bottom, man.
Needham.
No, 5-0. 5-0. I think the luckiest thing though at the minute, like obviously Marina picking up some points down the bottom, but like no one else is, are they? Like everyone else is losing as well, so they might be all right. They need to pick up. They've got Chorley on Saturday. I don't know where Chorley are in the league, but they're gonna have to start picking up some results. Like that's not good.
I think for me, Marines, probably I would say that's probably why Jim Bentley was showing the door. I think that because obviously it's not 100% pulled him into the relegation battle because obviously look they're only 2 wins away. They would need 2 wins out of the last 8, and then they should be safe. But again, they're probably thinking, look, at this stage, they don't want to take that risk. I know, but there's a bit of a gap, between 21st and Southport. But I can't see Southport going down. But I think for Marine, that's probably could be a season defining result. To be honest, in the grand scheme of things, if they not lost that, you'd still be having Ubin and ahhing about whether they might do it. But I think that win now should really take a lot of pressure off them now. So they should really get enough now to stay in the division, which would be a massive achievement for them for their rise. Since obviously their FA Cup run a couple of years ago, and and fair credit to them, and that's how a club should be, approaching it, taking a lot of cup money and pushing on the football club, which they've done. So fair play to Marine. And obviously with a new stadium to come as well soon.
Just some news as well. Manchester United have scored. Johnny has mentioned, and it was Bruno Fernandes.
I feel like that tie is just full of penalties. I swear there's been 4 of them in these 2 games.
Johnny, if you could let me know how Rangers and Chelsea are doing as well, then I've got my bet covered, mate. Cheers.
Hey. Hold on, I'll pull the results up now.
I know Rangers weren't getting beat.
Yeah, they're still getting beat. 3-2 on
Rangers are losing 1-0. Wait, what was the other one?
Chelsea.
0-0.
Typical.
Bruno Fernandes is an half kind of keeping Man United in the season. You know what I mean? He's the only one who can score goals for them. I mean, he'll be the only one willing to somebody benefiting to play in that £2 billion shithole that they're going to make. You know what I mean?
What the thing that looks like Butlin's man head?
It does look like Butlin's, doesn't it? Yeah. Butlin's Manchester starring.
I was thinking it was more of a. I was thinking it was more of a circus tent, which is quite fitting for Manchester United, in all fairness.
Oh, Sam's in the
same
chat.
colours.
Come on. I love Sam.
Same colours, same kind of acting as well, same performances.
Going back to the chat, Chris has mentioned that's why the Needham market has been switched to the Tuesday night due to the Rochdale Trophy game. Poor Needham.
How is Shah, for God's sake?
That's
Sorry.
Wow, Shah.
Competition.
I know.
If Needham go down, Shah, it's your fault.
It's my fault. It's all on me. It's all on me.
I've written an
It's
apology.
not Sky, it's Shaw wanting another par midweek.
Exactly. Too right. Too right. Paul has put South Shields again as a standout. He's also said too impressive.
Yeah,
Away wins. Completely agree. Yeah, they are. Lucas put Marina on fire. Na 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 na.
First time ever a Marine's been on fire.
I know. Johnny has put, we finally won a game. Thank God we beat Hereford. Thought you were a Sheffield United fan.
Hey.
Can't decide.
I know.
I'm confused. Also,
I'm confused.
Dan made Chelsea have just scored. So,
Hey!
check that cash out for about 56 pence, mate, and you'll be laughing.
Chris has put Needham to Scarborough and Spennymoor on 2 Tuesday nights. Ouch.
That's a long way away, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, the worst thing about cash out, Kieran, is that I'm live on my phone, so I can't even cash out.
Oh, no.
it's
Wounded.
If we see
Dan
Dan
disappears for like 20 seconds in the next half an hour, so we know what's going on.
You know, I'm going to chuck the Rangers game up on my laptop here, just for a laugh.
And Johnny is confirmed he's adopted Rochelle Olympic as his National League North team. Fair enough.
They need a market though.
That's because they're winning every game. Look at them. All they do is win.
Like from next year, if Needham do go down, because obviously I'll need a new National League North side. And at the minute, Peterborough Sports are just edging it out because I quite like the name of them. But I don't know. Need someone else.
Do we put our money on them to get relegated next season?
Oh,
100%.
Wait, can we do it early now? Yeah.
Well, that's the worst season ever, honestly. Bloody be a shot, bless them. They're the bottom of the Belgium A League. So I got their top from that night, wasn't I? And yeah, never mind.
Oh, people are getting salty in the chat now about United. Come on, Sam's in here. We love Sam. Making cutbacks.
Phil Jones wasn't even that bad of a player, guys. Come on. He wasn't that bad.
If anybody wants to talk about Manchester United, you can join us on Tuesday on our Absolutely Premier League show, because we do not cover them on here. Sorry, guys and girls.
Word.
It's the Absolute Football Roast with Sam.
Sam.
Quite excited for Tuesday now.
Graham has put all the teams will be sending you vids and asking for you not to pick them.
Yeah.
Go on, Sam, lad. You tell them all.
Go on, Sam.
All come into the podcast on Tuesday if you want to talk United. We don't do it on here. Only when Sam's in them.
We might do next season that we have to go in.
I love you, Sam. Don't worry.
Do you know what else I actually like? Manchester United.
I like United.
Yeah, they're all right. Not quite Spennymoor Town, mind, but they're okay.
They need a market, but
yeah.
I do like
no need them.
Oh, I knew Simon had come into it as well. Oh, right. You need to calm down, everyone in the chat. Remember.
Good thing is, as well, there's no VAR in the Championship.
I know.
I was about to mention he's still annoyed about the FA Cup game I was on.
Get in,
goal. Bromley. Yes, I love Bromley.
Get in there, Bromley. Have them. They're so boring. I hope they bottle it. They're doing my head in. Get in there.
So, National League North table. Top of the table, we have Scunthorpe United on 72 points. Brackley Town a second on 71 points. Chester a third on 70 points. Very close there, isn't it? And then fourth, we have Kidderminster on 64 points. Curzon Ashton a fifth on 64 points. Charlie a sixth on 64 points. Hereford a seventh on 63 points. And then bottom of the National League North, we have Needham Market, who was 21st on 33 points. Warrington a 22nd on 30 points. Rochelle Olympic a 23rd on 30 points. And Farsley Celtic at bottom of the National League North on 26 points. Let's go back to the chat. Someone's put focus on getting out of the Championship, not who might be joining you next season. Wink.
Realising it's either going to likely be Needham Market or Oxford who's going down. We should stop liking teams, guys. It's generally going awful here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
to be fair though, I did cover Hornchurch for National League South and they're doing all right.
Yeah, they are.
Not doing too badly, are they? You know what I mean? And I forgot to mention this before, I love how Ben mentioned about the 0-0, not because it was a terrible game, but what happens in Hornchurch stays in Hornchurch.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I still hate that ground. That's all I can say about it, really. It's still just
my friend Ty's came in as well. He's a United fan, and he's put, I won't tolerate United slander on the lower league show. Exactly. If anyone wants to talk about United, say anything negative, all on the Premier League show.
Yeah.
All on the Premier League show.
Well, based off of this chat, they're not going to be saying many positive things, are they? Let's be fair.
I know.
Speaking of positives, though, Shah.
I'll get onto that a little bit later. I know. I'll be humble for now. I'll let everyone else say. I know. I'll let everyone else say their standouts. I mean, Barnet. It's pretty certain now they've won the league, haven't they? I don't think anyone else is catching them, coming close to them. Let's have a quick look. Look at them up there. Surely not now. It's theirs, isn't it?
That's...
The technical term is pissed it.
Pissed it. Pissed the league. Other standouts. Let me have a look. Halifax, I know I did mention them last week, but they are picking up some points. They are going on a good run, obviously, in the playoffs now. Southend, I think that's a really good win for Southend, especially against Altrincham. I know they've had a little bit of a blip recently, Altrincham. I'll get on to Tuesday's game a little bit later where they had another blip. But yeah, they don't seem to be.
Good win for Aldershot, I think, to be fair. Actually, they really needed that actually against Gateshead, who probably dampens their playoff hopes just a little. They're still okay at the moment, but they need a response back from that, to be honest, because and Aldershot were just back to slipping. Had they not won the game, they would have really slipped into that real bottom four battle. So it's just moved them away from it slightly. Again, as well, will they have the FA Trophy still on their minds? That's that same with Woking, because Woking aren't safe at all yet. They're only 6 points off, so it's hard to put it in the back of your mind. I know you've got a trip to Wembley potentially, but obviously the bigger picture is staying in the National League, because for any either out of Woking or Aldershot, they went down, that would cost them a lot of money to go back into the National League South. When you take up obviously all the away supports they probably get, and obviously the players they've got, and obviously crowds might even dip anyway because they're playing in such a, for them what would be a pretty bad standard of football in their eyes. But to get a win against a playoff chasing side, again showing that on any given day, any team in that league is capable of beating anyone. So good credit to Aldershot, because they've been under pressure and they needed that.
I completely agree. We have got a lot of chat in here. Luke has sent quite a lot, so just bear with me because it's in quite a few pages. So he has put obviously the Gateshead game, Gateshead and Aldershot away. I didn't get much from this game as I was dealing with something else on this day. From what I've heard from our fans, we didn't play badly at all. We were just masters of our own downfall during that game. However, Aldershot were taking their chances well, which cost us the game. And then he put, not the end of the world. We have 3 winnable games back to back, at home against Maidenhead, Braintree and Tamworth. However, lots of rumours off the pitch, including Mark Cooper revealing to BBC Radio Bristol that Frank Noble was a transfer target for us.
Is he still playing football, Frank Noble?
Some player in fair play.
He mentioned that a potential new owner of Gateshead was behind the bid to bring him to the club. And then he has also put, not sure if all of this is true. We'll just have to wait and see. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Who's it that he plays for at the minute? It's Yeovil, isn't it?
Yeovil, yeah.
In the
chat
as well.
He's a lot older than what I've just checked. He's only 33. I thought he was.
Oh, really?
He would have been playing for Newport when he was like 26. Then I thought he was like 31 at that point.
Paul has put, how many seasons have Barnet done a line out of players and finally found a winning formula? I know. He has also put, And Hartlepool United potential to go liquidation at the end of the season as chairman stepped down with immediate effect. Oh no.
Deary me.
I hope not.
Jeff Stelling will step in and save the day, surely.
You'd think so.
Oh, that's so sad.
Hartlepool are a good club as well. They were, what was it, 2 seasons ago they were League
Yeah,
Two?
they got relegated with us.
Yeah.
Season we did, yeah.
Who was the club recently who announced that their chairman was had a terminal illness? And they were trying to sort out the finances.
Chesterfield,
yeah.
When we played them, it was like right after the news came out, and everyone did like an applause during the game. So he recovers and whatnot, and he's all right. But not nice at all.
No.
Sorry, we've got a lot of chat, so just bear with me. Jamie's put, "Hey up, how's it going, people? Really good, thank you for joining us, Jamie." As well, Chris has put Barnett with that late goal, 93rd minute over Dagenham. Oh, heartbreak for Dagenham. I'm trying to get. He's put as well, Chris. Shah, I see that Aldershot versus Woking is now 12:30 p.m. kickoff of a trophy semi-final. Oh, I didn't see that.
Hate that.
Didn't see that. Paul has put, Cleary scored an absolute worldie for Pools on Saturday at Eastleigh, and Eastleigh scored. And after that, honest ball fest. Oh, bless. He's also put, he's done the same against Darlington. Ooh. Sean has put, I was speaking to one of the Tamworth players earlier and he's hoping to be back on the pitch soon. He's hoping to be back on the pitch soon as he has been out with an ankle injury since their game before the Spurs match. Oh, I hope he's okay. Getting on to Dale as well now. Johnny has put, Shah, ever since I got my red Rochdale jersey, you have been so golden. Well, keep wearing it, Johnny. Keep wearing it. You keep wearing it. And I think Michael sent me, he's put up the Dale, but I think he sent me his match report. So just bear with me, sorry. Bear with me. I think I've gone past it. Yes. Obviously, so it was Rochdale 4, Wilston 1. Wilston, what a game. Barlow is some player. We played very well. We played very well. Seeing Toby score has absolutely made my season. We've been very good recently, defensively good, especially Hogan. Lovely chip from God. And we all know who God is. We all know who God is. The man, the myth, the legend, Ian Henderson. But yeah, pretty much everything Michael said. We played some really good football recently. Really good football. Can't complain at all. Some of our fans, you can't please them. Don't get me wrong, but it's been more positive. But yeah, a really good game from us. A really good performance. Wealdstone, bless them, they didn't really get into the game. Their goal was from a corner, and it was a very good header. Sam Waller had no chance whatsoever saving that. But yeah, Toby had a bio rolling, scored. We all love Toby. I don't know if anyone saw his interview when we've offered him a new contract, and what a fantastic interview. It's just a breath of fresh air. It's so funny. He's a guy who hugged the tree as well when he scored. We love Toby.
Is he the tree man, is he?
Yeah, he's a tree hugger. His celebration this time when he scored, he did the worm. It was absolute quality, honestly. What a guy. Yeah, what a guy. Ian Henderson, I mean, I don't know if any of you saw the goal. I think the defender, to be fair, should have done better. But Ian Henderson is the experience that he's got. He just chipped the keeper, and what an absolutely fantastic goal it was. Honestly, absolutely love him. As Michael mentioned as well, Adi Barlow, who we do have since coming back from injury, he has been so good for us. And I know I've gone on from time to time about this possession-based football, and it can be a little bit frustrating sometimes when you're passing it back and stuff. Adi Barlow is the one that completely drives it forward, the ball, and is such an exciting player to watch. He is miles above National League, but I'm so glad we've got him. He seems to be enjoying his football as well. Great goal by him. And one of my favourite players this season, and somebody who I did not have a rant about, but had a rant on his behalf last week. Taryn Alarakia getting on the score sheet again. I love Taryn. Honestly, since the stick he got off a couple of fans, he has just proven wrong. He has been in great form. But yeah, he got on the score sheet again. And a really good, cool, composed, well-taken goal from him. But yeah, it's going well at the minute. I'm still not getting excited because I know what it can be like football. I know you have your bad times and your good times, but we're putting up a really good run together. And yeah, all the players are playing really well. And if I were Jim McNulty at the minute, I'd be really struggling to kind of sit down and pick a starting 11 because there is a lot of players in really good form. Even our bench is looking great at the minute. We've got people coming back from injuries. I know we've still obviously got a couple of injuries. As I mentioned, Devante Rodney is out for a good while, I think, which is unfortunate. I feel like I've said that quite a few times this season. He can't really catch a break, bless him. Kyron Gordon, somebody who has been the core of our team, he stepped up as captain. He's out until April, so that's a big loss for us. But yeah, we've got Ebanks Landell back, which is massive. Obviously, our club captain, not really rushing him back in at the minute. We're just taking it as it comes, a week at a time. But yeah, honestly, we're playing really, really well. It's really good to see, not just attackingly, but defensively as well. Really, really well. Tyres, but I've already invested stocks in Alarakia. Honestly, what a player. What a player. Yeah, Gordon is out for 4 weeks. And Johnny's put raging. I missed a game against Wilston. Oh, and yeah, J-Bird. I will get on to J-Bird in the next lot of fixtures. Luke has put, obviously, Javon Malcolm for us winning the Vanarama National League Player of the Month for February. It's a curse. Luke, don't be happy. It's a curse. I say it every week, honestly. It's a curse. But yeah, we did have some midweek games. So Forest Green 2, Sutton United 1, Oldham Athletic 2, Eastleigh 0. A very good win for Oldham because I know a lot of their fans are getting really frustrated at the minute with the team, with Mick and Mellon as well. So I think it was definitely a must-needed win for Oldham. It takes a little bit of pressure off Mellon. Rochdale 3, Altrincham 0, I will come on to. And then obviously Yeovil Town 0, Boston United 3. Boston, to be fair to them, and over at the bottom, but they are picking up points, aren't they?
They're only 5 points off. They were miles gone about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
The Graham Cochran effect, guys.
Yeah.
It's the only reason they're staying up here.
If they pull that off, that would be the great escape, to be honest, of the season, because they had no chance. They've been down there all season. They have Boston if they manage to put scare, because I think they win that game in hand, and obviously Wealdstone don't. You're talking 2 points off the top, off safety zone. So yeah, I think their fans are probably going to get a bit of belief again. I think if there's any time now, there's a pause to get behind the team. It's certainly right now, because they're certainly not down and out just yet.
Yeah.
We loaned them back Jimmy Knowles because we bought him, and then we loaned him back in January, and he's been on the score sheet a few times for them now as well. So I feel like that's helping him, because I did feel quite bad when you looked at Boston's team. We nicked from 2 players in Kelsey Mooney and Jimmy Knowles.
Fenerbahce have made it 2-0. Sorry, Dan.
Oh, that makes it 3-3.
Shit happens.
Yeah, 3-3 on aggregate now.
Chris has mentioned as well the Boston result. He's put all the way down to Yeovil for that result. They might stay up if they can keep the good results. Definitely. Paul has put best time for it, the final push. 100%. Like I said, Bo, every game's a tough game, to be honest, in a National League.
9 cup finals, isn't it? 9 cup finals now.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just glad. Like, I will get onto the Altrincham game. I'm just glad that Jim McNulty is proving people wrong again, and this squad of players, because I came on and it were really bothering me how entitled our fans were getting. It were really bothering me so much. So yeah, I'm glad for Jim. I'm glad for Jim. But yeah, Altrincham game. We had chances. I thought overall, even in the first half, we were the better team. We had chances. Leighton, their goalkeeper, saved a couple of shots. I think, I can't remember who was it who had the chances. I think Bird had a chance, and I cannot remember for the dear life of me who had another chance. But it were two anyway. And he pulled off some good saves. But yeah, second half we came out and it was a bit similar to the cup game where we were just so much better than them in every aspect. Obviously, disappointing for Altrincham. They did have Regan Linney suspended. I think it was. I think he's had so many yellow cards this season, so that was a massive boost for obviously us, because we've spoke about and we've seen what Regan Linney can do for Altrincham. He scored a lot of vital goals this season for them. Very, very good player. But Adi Barlow getting on the score sheet again, who I mentioned, scoring at the weekend, and Jay Bird, who we do have on loan from Exeter. He's the guy who I was talking about last week, who we brought in on loan. Is a forward, so I think it's to give Cairo Mitchell a little bit of a rest and kind of rotate. It's that time of year now where we need to kind of rest players. We've got a lot of Saturday, Tuesday games, obviously with the difficulties of the pitch and what our pitches. Obviously, we've had a lot of postponements, haven't we? So we've got a lot of catching up to do. He got on the score sheet again. Very good, well taken goal. A few of our fans, obviously, after he scored, were like, oh, yeah, you wouldn't see Cairo Mitchell doing anything like that. You wouldn't see Cairo Mitchell doing anything like that. Then guess who comes on and scores a goal? And you know what? I was so made up for that lad. I was so made up. But you know what annoys me now? The fact when he scored, he did a celebration and he went like that. And then he shushed and covered his ear. And obviously, it was a dig at our fans, the ones who have been calling him out. Fair play to him. I love that. I love that. He just took so much grief off several fans recently. I had my rant last week about it. I won't go over it again. So much grief. And now they're all like, oh, why would you celebrate like that? Why would you celebrate when you can't? You've not. There was one fan in particular who sits near me, and he was like, Cairo Mitchell, it was just a tap in. Who would celebrate like that? And these people saying it's for somebody who apparently wants to be at the club. Why would you celebrate like that? And it's just everything Cairo Mitchell does, he cannot win at this point. And it's like, just because we've got Jay Birds in, who is a phenomenal player, he's doing really well for us. I really like him, and I think he really suits the way we play. You don't have to then get rid of Cairo. Have both of them. We are in this. We are not in a predicament now where we can't afford players. We could happily have these two players, especially with Rodney being out, have these two players, and both of them could bring you goals this season. And it just really, really bugs me how they have to target someone. And even after Cairo scoring, they're still making it a negative because of his celebration. They can't just be happy for him. And it drives me around the twist. But it is actually Oldham and Dale at weekend. It's at Oldham. So I'm hoping, praying, like manifesting, Cairo Mitchell gets the winning goal against Oldham just to prove all these people wrong, because he's got 19 goals this season and he's still getting grief. Really?
Wow.
Really?
That's mad. I know every club has, fans always turn to one player and use him as a scapegoat. Every single club has that one. And it's ridiculous. Obviously, I said it the other day because congratulations, by the way, on getting on Rochdale's fan board. Because, like I said, the pelters you get for being on it, thinking you're just a yes person to the hierarchy and stuff. I said to them the other day how Lyle Foster for Burnley's been getting a lot of, flack for not putting the ball in the back of the net, missing chances. But yeah, under company, everyone were like, "Oh, there, Lyle, it'll come." But now under Park, it's like, "Oh, get him off, Swamp Donkey, do one." It's like, nah, it shouldn't be like that. You back him. So he's well within his right, as Carol Mitchell, to start cupping his ears. I do not blame him one bit. Either that, or he was trying to remind Amy to tell your mum to get you them headphones. Like, just show them headphones.
You want to keep it quiet from show, isn't he?
Oh no, honestly, like it's just so frustrating because no matter what he does, and I love Jay Bird, right? I think he's brilliant and he's actually out of contract for Exeter at the end of the season. So if we could get him, that'd be a really, really good signing. And he's played 3 games for us. He's done really well in those 3 games. And he brings stuff to the team that Cairo doesn't. But Cairo has his own qualities that Jay Bird obviously doesn't have as well. And I just think, like, we're not in the stage now where we can only have one of them. Next season, if we can keep Cairo as well and sign him, as well as we've got Devante Rodney for another year, why can't we have all 3 of them, especially considering Ian Henderson's retiring at the end of the season? Like, they'd be perfect. But oh no, fans.
The only bother with Jay Bird, it sounds like he's going to be on the next series of Love Island, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know,
Jay Bird.
every time he goes, a section of our fans sing the Peter Griffin song, the I love it. Yeah, Johnny, I did say it was his 19th of the season. I don't know if you did hear me. I did say that. I want Liam Hogan to score. Do you know what? I take it coming off an Oldham player's ass. I don't care as long as we beat them. We won't beat him forever. To be honest,
you going, Charles?
What's that? Sorry.
Are you going on Saturday?
I can't. I'm working. My sister's going. My sister, my dad, and my little boy are all going, but I can't. I'm gutted. Yeah, nobody can miss me in my yellow headphones. That's why I wear them. Everyone knows where I am. So top of the National League table, we have Barnet on 82 points. York City are second on 71 points. Forest Green Rovers are third on 71 points. Oldham Athletic are fourth on 62 points. Gateshead are fifth on 60 points. FC Halifax Town are sixth on 59 points. Rochdale are seventh on 55 points. Obviously, we do have those couple of games in hand as well. And then at the bottom of the National League, Wealdstone are 21st on 35 points. Maidenhead United are 22nd on 34 points. Boston United are 23rd on 31 points. And Ebbsfleet United, no change from them, bless them. They are bottom of the National League table on 14 points. We'll have to keep you updated on... Yeah, I will be watching it, though. I'll be sneaking watching it. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Just imagine you're getting beat 1-0 or something. The next person you're with, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah. What are you doing? And then when Cairo gets the winner, I'll be going, no, Cairo, no party. No, Cairo.
Everyone's going to look at you while you work like, what the fuck what are you doing?
We do that anyway. Everyone does that in life. Right, so we've got a few people from League 2 on here tonight. Who wants to start us off with Saturday's games?
This was Saturday, so this isn't the fun one. Don't worry. But it's another loss, so maybe it is a fun one. It's the same thing every game. I was at this exact same point coming onto this podcast this time last year. I was going, end the season. Just bin it off now. I'm at that point again, and I have been probably for the past month. Played Chesterfield, probably it was more important about the occasion and whatnot than the actual game. Neither team are really going to probably do much, towards the end of the season. Probably Chesterfield have a bit more to play for, but I think you'd still fancy other teams to get in playoffs over them. But we've scored the opener. I can't even remember who scored it, but we've scored the opener. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, it's a pleasant surprise because we've only won 3 away games all season. About a minute later, they've equalised, and then 2 minutes after that, they've scored to make it 2-1, and that's kind of the end of the game. And it was probably the most boring, 55 minutes of football I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, it's another one of those that we can't defend. We're our own worst enemy, and it's even more proven by the Tuesday result. Let's put it that way. Patience is running really thin from my end on our head coach, because I swear on my life, you could play every single one of his interviews that he's ever made, change the name of the team, and they'd all work. He's like a robot in his interviews saying, we tried, we had more of the ball. I don't care that we had more of the ball. They put the ball in the back of the net more than we did, and we've lost again. He doesn't have a plan B. He said he doesn't have a plan B, but I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I'm struggling to find the plan A, and I've struggled to find it for 36 games. So, yeah, that one was bad, but we'll go on to the other one, which I didn't think you could get much worse, but no, we got a lot worse. A lot worse.
Lucas,
it?
Kieran's match reports are honestly one of the funniest.
I'm at the point of the season now where I don't even remember who scored. What players played well, what player hasn't played well. I'm just with the assumption at this point that everyone's played crap and it's just miserable. Because we're at that point of the season where I'm going to be honest with you, I think we finish 18th again. So it's going to be a duplicate of last season, which is for a club with ambition. Isn't exactly my favorite thing on the planet. But I swear, guys, I was more positive about 2 months back, but I wasn't here. I was a lot happier though. Yeah, bloody Nelson Jardine. What a guy.
Luke's comment.
Well, yeah, he's not wrong, but the difference is last season, at least we had a cup run to look forward to. We've had nothing. We were knocked out of both competitions in the first round. What a boring season. What a boring season.
Michael's put up the shrimps, Jen.
Thanks. At least someone's positive.
Hey.
Someone's looking up.
Who wants to go next?
I'm happy to get Saturday out the way.
Go on, Rebecca.
It's a quick one. It was frustrating. We thought that we'd have had the momentum from the MK Dons win on the Tuesday. But again, a Saturday, and what do Aki do on a Saturday? We don't win. So we had an unchanged side, but no came of it. I think we had 1 shot on target the whole match, and that came in the second half from one of our subs. And of course, it was an ex-Aki Lorne that set up their first goal and scored the second, just to rub it in. The fact that, that was Saturday.
She wants to skip to Tuesday. Let's be
These are
brutally
proper
honest.
short and sweet. I'm loving them.
I know.
Tuesday.
No, don't worry. The Tuesday one might last.
Sounds like somebody do a long segment so I can go for a bloody piss.
Private chat. Jen, have you got a long match report so I can have a win?
No.
If we skip to Tuesday, I've got one.
I don't know what to say now. I think we're done. I don't think we have a way out of this now, if I'm honest. Trying Tranmere have got the momentum now. They obviously won against Bromley. They do have Bradford this weekend, which I'm hoping Bradford do us a favour. But we do have Barrow on Saturday. And when we play Barrow, we either play really good or we play really bad. There's no in between. So it's coming down to 10 cup finals now. That's it. We need to either win, draw, do anything. Carlisle are obviously picking up points now again. It's very, very difficult at the minute to be positive. But Saturday, it felt like we could get somewhere because we did have a penalty 37 minutes in. And it was a great penalty by Lee, absolutely fantastic. And then we come back out at the second half and they just fell apart. There was nothing about them. The defence wasn't there. The attacking wasn't there. It was just like, what's going on? Because this isn't the team that I saw last week. So I don't know if it's just the heads have gone now and they're just like, right, this is it. We're going to have to just deal with it and see what happens next season. I think it's difficult as well because there's so many injuries. Like, we're literally down to one goalkeeper and that's it. There has been Luke Hendrick and Harvey are now out for the season, so that's 2 gone. With Schumer already out for the season. He's just had his hip operation, so he's gone. Who else is there? There's 2 that are back in training, which is good. Our second goalkeeper is back in training this week, which is fantastic because to only have one goalkeeper is scary because if that one goes down, who the hell do you put in the net? Like, it's as simple as that. The academy goalkeeper has been training with the first team, but he hasn't been put on the bench, which I don't really understand, to be honest, because even if you're pulling a 17-year-old onto the field, if Harry goes down, then that's what he's there for. It just feels deflating at the minute. And then there's a lot of arguing between fans at the minute, which is not helpful. The protest group have come out and said that next season they will not be putting any money into the club regarding season tickets, any tickets, anything in the club shop, any food or drink inside the stadium, which I think from a personal point of view should not be happening. You need to get behind that club. I know we all want Jason out and I know we all want him to leave the club and sell the club and do whatever is possible, but to not be there and not be behind the lads next season is not something I can stand by. Also, they're not very aware that every single penny that goes into the club, he has no access to. He has no access to the bank accounts. That is run by the board of directors. So I think there's a lot of arguing between fans. It's getting very bitter. It's getting very angry. I don't see a way out of this, if I'm honest. But we've got 10 cup finals to go. Let's just see what happens. And if we go down, we go down. If we have to rebuild in the National League, then that's what we'll do. It's as simple as that. Like, sometimes you have to go down to work your way back up. And my positive thinking, if we go down to the National League, there's a lot of new grounds for me there to visit. So that's a positive. But it's difficult at the minute, but I'll be there on Saturday and we'll see what happens. But we're only 4 points adrift. Like, it's not massive, but it's more than it was on Saturday. So I think if we win on Saturday, huge, because in a couple of weeks we've got Carlisle at home. That it has to be a win. Like, there's no ifs about it.
That one, isn't it?
We won away to them, so I think if we play like we did away, I think we'll be fine. But I went on the radio and spoke about Morecambe over the past week, and we spoke about Carlisle, and it is literally a 6-pointer. If we get a draw out of that, we're both down. It's as simple as that. If Carlisle win, they'll probably stay up. It's difficult, but I think going forward, it's just you've got to get behind the lads now, and whatever happens, happens. And there's only one person to blame for all this that's going on right now, and that's Jason. So.
100%.
I think as well on like Saturday, it was so bad. Like, obviously everyone else won, didn't they? Like, Carlisle lost, but like everyone above, it's like the Harrogate one, didn't they? And mentioned Tranmere before, even Gillingham, who could have been, dragged into it, and MK Dons, and that probably wouldn't have been dragged into like a relegation scrap or anything like that. But they, you would have took 3 points off them. It just seemed one of them weeks where everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. It was only like Aki who lost as well, but then Aki's got that massive result on Tuesday, so it just gives them a little.
We were watching the game on Tuesday.
Isn't it?
Like,
it's 2 out
like,
of 3.
I was obviously happy for Accrington at the same time because of Rebecca, but then like they were never really in our fight at the beginning. They were never really there. They was in there like for a little bit, but they wasn't like right in the scrap with us. So I think it's Tranmere, us and Carlisle now that are in the danger. It's difficult to say what's going to happen. Anything can change in 10 games.
Oh yeah, I mean you look at Walsall. Obviously Walsall were 12 points clear. Like about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, they were only 2 points, 3 points after tonight. So anything can happen. If that happens to a team as who are doing really well at the top, it can happen down the bottom as well, can't it? It just needs that little spark, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think as well, like I've said from the start, like we are where we are now. Why don't we chuck some of the academy lads in? Why don't we chuck some of the academy lads that are in their second years and are needing teams to see them if they don't get into the first team? Because on Saturday, we had one of our academy players on the bench and he's 16 years old and he was on the bench for Markham. This was his first team game and he's an unbelievable academy player. So why not bring more of them in and give them a chance? Well, I know we'll need some fresh legs because we've got a lot of injuries and there's a lot of players playing 90 minutes every single week. And they've got
the fight as well, though, haven't they, Jen? They've got the fight of being such young lads to want to call themselves a professional footballer, to go out there and showcase what they can do. If anything, it only stands better for Morecambe going forward.
It's like Alfie, our academy player, who's has been the backup if Harry goes down, but's not been put on the bench. When he's at games, he's constantly like trying his best to show people and showcase what he is, and he's always saying like after the game how upset he is about the result and stuff. And that's what you want from a player, because even though he's 17 years old and he is an academy player, he still very much cares about this club. And it's the same with Nathan, who was on the bench on Saturday. Like, he was unbelievably happy to even be asked to go to be in the team. So I think to have academy players like that, we need to be using them, because that could really push the other players on to think, all right, okay, let's do this.
Just quickly go into the chat. Obviously, I did show this briefly. Sir Derek Adams petition for a knighthood for Big Dezza. Oh, I love that, Big Des.
Big Des. I'm going to get these. That's when no one goes into work.
I had a message from my mate who's a Morecambe fan, and I don't know how true it is, but supposedly Derek Adams has either said or has been confirmed somewhere that he will stay if you are to go down.
Yeah, he won't leave. 100%. He's been unbelievable for us this season. I've said it constantly, but he's on a month-to-month contract. He could walk tomorrow if he wanted to, and we wouldn't begrudge him for that. I think he's an incredible manager that has been dealt a horrible hand. So I think if he stays and we manage to get sold in the off-season or summer and he actually has money to spend, I think we could easily get promoted. He's promoted us once, why can't he do it again? I think we just need to sell the club. That is the main priority.
It's mad to think what you've done, Jen, as well. Like at the start of the season, I remember one of the first podcasts we did at the start of the season, you were saying how we don't have a team. We have nobody. There is nobody's in this squad whatsoever. It's pointless putting a programme out because there's no names to put on the back of it. And now you've got players in. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, the position I think even at that time, you probably thought what will be, will be. Mm-hmm. But now, seeing what you've seen over the course of the season, do you think you'll be all right long term?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, Derek has done a fantastic job. We had 2 players contracted at the start of the season, and that was it. That is absolutely devastating as a fan to see all these players that you fall in love with and then they leave. It's like, all right, okay, we're doing the restart again. But I think it's been put out by the board of directors and Derek himself that will not happen again this season. There is a lot of players on 1-year contracts, but they've also got 1-year extensions on there. So he's possibly, I think we keep the same team pretty much. I think there might be a few, like Stu Moore might, I don't know, because of his hip injury. He's had a rough time this season, so I don't know if he will play football again. I hope he does, because he's an incredible man. But I think if he can keep this squad, and if we do go down or if we do stay up, I think he's done. No other manager could do what Derek Adams has done or dealt with. He has been with us 3 times now, and 3 times that he's been with us, we've had this problem. So I think he honestly deserves every single credit he gets.
I think a lot of people have kind of said it on the pod, and I've mentioned I'm not the biggest fan of Derek Adams, right? But I am not one to shy away from the fact that no other manager in football would have Morecambe even remotely close to being out of that relegation zone, and you can't not give him credit for that. And like you mentioned, he's been there 3 times. That ownership problem has been a reoccurring problem. Yeah. He's taken you to a promotion. You know, he's given you a relatively stable finish last season, despite the points deduction and all that other stuff. And again, the fact that you are 10 games away, and I think again, any other manager, you'd at this point be probably saying, "Oh, we lose this game on the weekend, and we're 6 points away from being confirmed relegation." You'd likely be relegated this month if you didn't have Derek Adams there. He knows that club, and it's just a shame that you've got that ownership problem, because that team's not a bad team. It's just been dealt with the worst problems that have absolutely nothing to do with it, and it's bad. It really is. Big up Derek though. Big up Derek Adams. Big up Derek Adams.
As much as I hate, I'll get Liam to take it into work, and then he can show the video to him.
As much as I will forever hold a grudge against him for that playoff final. But other than that, big up Derek Adams. I'll forever hold a grudge to it. It'll never go away.
Keep your grudges coming, Kieran. Tuesdays are coming.
Oh no! Oh dear.
Just quickly on Saturdays, I will go to. Do you know what, Dan? I'll come to you first. Is there any standouts on here?
For me, I'd say that Swindon. I think what a remarkable achievement they've done for where they've gone to where they are now. Is just, credit to Ian Holloway and everyone there. It's been amazing the work that they've done. Solid point away at Doncaster. A good standout one for me. And like I say, looking at Jen's game, losing 2-1 to MK Dons, who have been up there. I just say, there's definitely fart in those boys. So, like I say, again, I said it earlier, and you've got cup finals now, and you need all 4 sides of that stadium to be as loud as possible.
Yeah.
Ben, any standouts for you?
It pains me to say it, but it has got to be the team from
What you're gonna?
Referee on an unbelievable run, and Gillingham don't win, and that's the thing. They suddenly follow up. I know they lost to Newport the other night, last week, but that's what happens when you have home games. You have the home support behind you. You get 1 win, and then suddenly it opens like a can of worms almost. So, you got to give them credit. I think the club's been under huge pressure. John Coleman's been under huge pressure since he's gone in there, and they needed, when he went in there, probably about 3 or 4 wins to stay up. He's got a couple now, which obviously has eased their relegation fears a little bit, really. So you wouldn't expect them now to be in that bottom 3. I think as Jen said, I think it is now between your Tranmere and Morecambe and Carlisle now for that. I think everyone else above them now should be okay. But that's probably the standard. And to be fair, I would go on to Dan's comment. To be fair, about Swindon, because I think when we were talking, when Nick first came back onto the pod, he said that they expect them to be a National League club for next season. And what a remarkable turnaround Ian Holloway's done. And I think you're talking about Manager of the Year. Obviously, if Derek Adams doesn't pull it off with getting Morecambe out of it, I think I'd be giving Ian Holloway a shout of Manager of the Year in terms of what he's done there. Turn around. With that group of players is absolutely astonishing. I mean, you're talking another win or so should be enough, really. I mean, I'm saying, as you said, probably should be okay now, but what an achievement. Like I say, of everything they've had going off the pitch as well, supporters boycotting games, and obviously the problems with their ownership as well. Massive credit to their group of players. They've just stuck to the task, and which is making sure keeping Swindon in the Football League, which obviously wouldn't have been unthinkable, just but 10 years ago when they were chasing the Championship. So yeah, again, that's a good point against a Doncaster side who, again, it's not been a bad point to them because they're now in the automatic promotion spot now. So, but they may see that 2 points drop for them. But for Swindon to go there, on a Saturday, go there away from home, good point for them.
Anybody else got any standouts or any of you want to give a quick mention to? I'll let everyone.
I think the Tranmere one.
I was going to say Tranmere.
As bad as it is for obviously for Morecambe and Carlisle and everything like that, but it's a cracking result there for them. Obviously sat and Nigel Adkins on this, so yeah. Apart from that,
I think a lot of Tranmere fans were actually saying, weren't they, as well, that they were glad Adkins had gone because he was basically there because of his friendship with the chairman, and there's no really other tie to it than that. And then when results weren't going their way, end of the day, he's had to put the club first. So fair play to the chairman there.
Yeah, you got to give.
Yeah, that's right.
But the other one I'd mention, and it's not because the result was it. Well, you got the Grimsby beating Walsall, continue of Walsall's bad run. Yeah. But Colchester, now not because it's a phenomenal win, but I had a look at it the other day. They have not lost since they've not lost since at the beginning of January. Yeah. They're on something like a 12-13 game unbeaten run. They've won 4 games on the spin. And they get a lot of draws, and they've had a lot of draws within that run. But they're currently 1 point off playoffs. And given where they were last season, that's a remarkable turnaround. I know a lot of people actually have kind of mentioned and said that Colchester could have been the team at the start of the season to push into that top 7. They've got a really good manager. They've got a really good side as well when you look into it a bit deeper. But they started off the season not being able to, I suppose, click and find that winning mentality. They got a lot of draws and they're difficult to beat, but it seems they've now found that piece that they were missing. And yeah, they've won 4 on the spin, and they look like they really could compete for playoffs now, which, again, given where they were last season, I don't think many would have said that.
Is it Danny Cowley still there?
Danny Cowley,
yeah. Brilliant.
I felt like this was a job he had to get right, though, because I know he did really well with Lincoln, but he's kind of failed at every other job since, and you can only hold on to that for so long. You can only hold on to that credit of what he did with Lincoln, but it seems he's doing something similar with Colchester.
Well, so he's done, obviously, I think even management. I think the one that didn't go right for him really was the Portsmouth job. I think what he'd done at Braintree and Concord Rangers. I mean, he took Concord from Essex Senior League to National League South, on such a shoestring budget. They're a tiny club there on Canvey Island. They're probably to be the second biggest side in Canvey Island. But I've always been a big fan of Dan Cowley, his man management, the way he comes across in interviews. Like I say, talking about when he was at Lincoln, I think the year before he took that job, he was a PE teacher, in the National League, and where he's gone to now. I would have said at one point, I really hope that someday he might get to the Premier League. I really hope so. He's got that sort of character about him. And I think he can maybe cut it one day, maybe even the Championship. I think he still has a bit of time, to be fair. But if he can, get into the top 7 with Colchester, like as Kieran said, I think that's a huge achievement considering, where they were this time last year when they were battling to stay in the Football League. So it shows what, a summer does for them, and having a manager that knows that league really well, can do for a club like that. So, yeah, massive credit for them.
I never say Dan Cowley because I always nearly get him confused with Dan Crowley, the midfielder for MK. I just switch their names around very often. It's a shame that they're in the same league because I wouldn't have to worry about it otherwise.
Hasn't he already been in the Championship? Didn't he have Huddersfield for a little bit?
He might have been. Actually, he might be right.
Yeah, I think he did.
That was an absolute car crash, though.
Yeah,
I don't think
go well.
I think everyone who's been at Huddersfield since has had a car crash, to be fair.
To be fair, yeah. It's Weird club, Huddersfield, aren't they? They're a weird club.
This made me laugh. I didn't realise either. Lucas put, I've only just realised this, but on Sunday for football, Arsenal, Chelsea, Sheffield Wednesday versus Sheffield United, Liverpool versus Newcastle, Celtic versus Rangers, Dundee versus Dundee United.
Right,
And
that
then he
Dundee
also
game will
put-
be chucked straight on.
Come on, Dundee.
He's put, and Wraith Rovers versus Dunfermline and Oldham versus Rochdale.
Go on, is there any other derbies going on Saturday?
I know.
You can guarantee, like on Sunday, me and Dan are going to be wearing our Sheffield Wednesday tops.
100%. 100%.
Come on, Danny, roll.
Am I pushing it and saying that Swindon Cheltenham's a close game? Am I pushing it a bit? Close proximity wise, but I don't really think they care about each other. But I'm counting them.
Can you count these on one hand? Just about.
We did have some fixtures, obviously, on Tuesday as well. So it was Accrington 5, Newport County 0, which we will talk about. Definitely talk about.
Sure, you crashed then. You crashed then. Can you just say that again?
Definitely talk about it.
You didn't say definitely enough. You should have said it twice more.
Definitely.
Oh dear.
Shall I say it again just for
Yeah, say it once more so you've said it 5 times. Yeah. Go on.
We will 100% be
No,
talking
boo.
about Accrington 5, Newport County 0. Just bear with me 1 minute. Another result is AFC Wimbledon 1, Cheltenham Town 2, Colchester United 2, Port Vale 1, Grimsby Town 0, Notts County 2, and Salford City 0, Chesterfield 4. Before we do talk about the Accrington Newport County game where Accrington did win 5-0.
Do you want to remind me again? Feel free. Dearie me. Oh my God. The worst part about that is I was close to not being able to count it on one hand.
Not on that yet, Kieran. God.
It was bad. It was really bad.
Any standouts for anyone on here? I mean, I'm really
happy.
Yeah.
What were the highlights, guys? Deary, bloody me.
Just one thing I did want to mention as well. Obviously, I know they did win against. Was it you? I think Kieran on Saturday, but Chesterfield's win again. Chesterfield. No, there's a lot of things going on at Chesterfield at the minute, isn't there? As we did mention, I know dropped a few points as well recently, so it is nice to see them obviously getting back on a run. Notts County as well. Grimsby have been in really good form. I know we've pointed them out for a few weeks now. Notts County a bit inconsistent recently, so obviously very good for them. We mentioned Colchester as well, didn't we, just then? Cheltenham. I'm just trying to prolong it a little bit, but I can't. Do you know what? Who's going first?
We'll start with Kieran because mine will be a bit longer because I want to mention, if you don't mind, the news that's come from Accrington today.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, Bex.
Well, no, because feel free. Right. Where do I start? Where do I start?
Start with the first goal.
Start with the first goal, defensive error, shite. Do you want the second one, defensive error, shite? Third one, do you want... No, this one's going to be a bit more different.
The game defensive was decided by 5 goals.
5 goals it was. Anyway, third goal, defensive error, shite. Fourth goal, actually, a really nice one from outside the box. Now, bear in mind, I had turned the game off at 2-0 at this point. It was gone. I had just finished an 11-hour shift. I was like, Newport play again. Fantastic. Great. 25 minutes in, we're 2-0 down, and they're all over us. I'm like, right, that's going off. Let me go enjoy the rest of my Tuesday. I then stupidly put it back on at half time, right as they scored the 4th. Thought, right, we'll definitely give up on it now. So I didn't see the 5th goal, but I'm going to assume defensive error shite was probably the right term. I I don't mind. Again, it's the end of the season. We're not going anywhere. I don't mind losing, but conceding 5, really, really. Ironic thing. Nick Townsend, he wins the the PFA Fans Player of the Month for last month, and then proceeds to ship 5. Not to mention, Sean Wally wasn't even playing. I believe he's the best, the best player in that bottom half of League Two. He's unreal, and he didn't even play, and you still stick 5 past us.
He's a good player. Very
He's
good
unreal.
player.
Was he 38, and he's still, and he's still got it. Like, fair play to him. But yeah, Nelson Jardim comes out after the game and basically, this one was different. This one was different to we had more of the ball, which, by the way, we had more of the ball, so I may as well take it as 3 points in my eyes, according to him. But he basically told the players to grow up. That's basically what he said. A little bit more on that, but that's basically what he said. And given the fact our entire transfer policy, the entire season, has been sign young players with no experience, I think it's quite difficult for them to grow up, especially when you're apparently coaching them out to ship 5. Surely you should be coaching them out to score 5, but no. We had about 2 chances the whole game, and that's quite generous to call them chances. I'm trying to get something positive out of them. We're playing Harrogate Saturday. They're crap, and they're still going to beat us because apparently we're the gift that keeps on giving for every team at the bottom end of the table now. Yeah, she's trying not to laugh, and you know what? I think everyone else is doing exactly the same. And you know what? Part of me is trying not to laugh because I'm sat there. I went back into work then, and everyone's went to me, Kieran, how's the Newport get on? I went, piss off. Just leave me alone. I'm miserable enough to be here. Never mind having to talk about it. But yeah, and I thought I'd book the day off and go to this game. Thank fuck I didn't. And then final thing from me, again, game was shit. 4 of the goals were defensive errors. It's standard. Whatever. But my mates went to the game and he's messaging me as it's going on. And he's went, oh, it's 1-0. But we've got a little bit of a chance here. 2-0. He's went, okay, let's take the piss a little bit now. 3-0. He's went, right, I've booked the train home. I'm gone. I'm not staying here. I think the most entertaining part for every single one of those Newport fans who went was they were doing the fucking conga line at halftime. That's about the most entertaining thing that happened from our end. So, Nelson Jardim, do us a favour, mate. Grow up. Right? Sort it out or get gone. I'm fed up with the same shit every week.
Oh.
And you know what? I hope he's gone at the end of the season because I'm done with it. I can't be bothered with him. I've tried giving him chances. I've tried going, you know what? It's his first job in the EFL, first job already head coaching. Fair enough, but no, it's just not gonna work. Get gone, man. You're doing my head in now.
Kieran, can I give you some life advice, mate, from an old man? Right?
Yeah, go on.
Never get a job at the Samaritans.
No. Well, let me be brutally honest with you, Ant. At full time, I was on call to the fucking Samaritans. So yeah, and they went, you failed the job interview. Try again next time. No idea why, but here we are.
Do you know what you need, Kieran?
Newport not to concede 5. Oh God! You know what? Yeah, end the season. I'm not renewing my season ticket next season if he's still there. If he's still there, I'm not renewing it. I can't be bothered. Would I have Wayne Rooney? I'd personally rather shit in my hands and clap, but nothing could be worse than Nelson Jardim, surely. Oh, unfortunately we've played.
And they fucking beat us. That just
somehow.
shows how
yeah. We've beaten them twice. Yeah.
Honestly, that just shows how shit we are.
Yeah. Newport confused the fuck out of me. So 2 months ago, we've played 6 games. We've drew 2 of them and won 4. And now we're like, oh my God, top half. Lovely. And now we're back to what we were 4 months ago, where we're losing every game. Make your mind up. Are we good or are we crap? There's no in between. Bloody Noria. We're gonna lose. We played Tranmere last day of the season. Guarantee you, we lose to them. We keep them up, and they pitch invade. Fuck my life, honestly.
Rebecca, we need positivity, please.
I was going to say, I don't know what match Kieran watched because I rather enjoyed it.
Just throw this Newport flag away. Can I order an Accrington flag from somewhere? You know, hold on. Get rid of that.
Yeah, it was a huge win for us. I mean, I went into it thinking, because we've got two quite big matches. We had two quite big matches this week. Thinking, right, if we get a point, we'll be happy because it is one of them where Newport are close to us. But I mean, a 5-0 win, I'll take that. It does pull us 10 points away from Morecambe now. So it is, apologies. It is looking a lot more positive for us, but I will say that and say touch wood just to be on the safe side because I do not want to jinx anything at this point. It was Bill Krellin's 11th clean sheet of the season, which makes it back-to-back home clean sheets. He got one against MK. He got one this week as well. It is 3 consecutive Tuesday night clean sheets as well for him with the win against Tranmere. So this just shows move all our matches to Tuesday because Saturdays, God knows what happens, but we love a Tuesday. We have one more Tuesday night coming up, which is against Fleetwood. So anything could happen. We have been struggling in front of goal. I think it was like a few weeks ago. We'd had 5 shots on target in 5 matches.
I hate to be that guy, but fair play to Billy Crowell on keeping a clean sheet. But a team of old fucking pensioners with my nan up front would keep a clean sheet against Newport of this, right? God. Oh, my life. Why did I come onto the podcast now? Why couldn't I wait a week?
So we have been struggling in front of goal. I mean, Tyler Walton was a standout player for us. He got a goal, which I'm still unsure where the touch comes for this goal because it could be given to Ben Woods, but we'll leave it with Tyler Walton for now. We'll let them two argue it out. So he got 3 assists and a goal. And the little fun fact of the day is he's only one of 6 players out of the whole of the 92 to get a hat-trick of assists in a match this season.
Wow, what a stat.
A little fun fact of the day. We also had Kelsey Mooney on the score sheet getting 2 and Joe O'Brien Whitmarsh, who we have on loan from Southampton. And we've finally been able to see where he is best playing and we're getting the best out of him. His second goal was an incredible one. We just kept attacking the whole match. Newport did hold a bit of possession, but did nothing with it. I don't think they had a shot on target, and there was really nothing that Bill Krellin had to face or do. But we did have Rawson go off injured, we think. So we ended up with Seb playing as centre back. Seb isn't a centre back. He's a midfielder.
It's fine because we're shit. It's fine. He can play in goal.
But yeah, it was a positive one from us. The players have got the confidence back on Tuesday, it looks like, because we have been without, as already been mentioned, Sean Morley and also Josh Woods. They're 2 of our main injuries at the minute. So to be able to get goals coming from other players, because Sean Morley is our leading goal scorer this season, it is a lot more positive. And now it's full focus on Saturday, in which this could be a very chaotic match for Accrington. It is against Gillingham, which we will see the return of Jack Nolan and Nelson Kumpenny. But also John Coleman and Jimmy Bell will be in Gillingham against Accrington. So there's already a bit of talk of unrest within Aki fans, which you don't want to be hearing already. So it will be a very interesting turnout to see what a lot of fans do, because we've got so much respect for what John and Jimmy did, but there's talks of, because of the way everything happened, they want to give him the send-off, which I agree with, but you don't do it during or when the players are coming out. You are there to back the current manager that we've got and the players that we have. Do whatever you want after the match.
Full-time whistle,
Like, when the match is done, no matter what the result is, it's one of them. You do it at that point. Now, you don't do it before or during, because we still had it last season when fans were chanting Coley's name, and we've got John Doolan in charge. You back the manager you've got, you back the players you've got, and that is something that we need to make sure that we are doing. And I do feel as though some fans won't do that. They'll be singing his name the whole match, which, I mean, you do you, but it's not going to go down well with quite a lot of fans. And then we had the news today, which I think quite a few people are going to want to have a little rant about, because it's ridiculous. Apparently, there's been a lot of issues with Corley's and the hospitality, and with this, with like the surrounding areas and everything. So the council have got involved, and there have been 4 complaints from houses, so 4 different people that have complained about noise coming from a football ground and coming from the bar and the hospitality, because like the club itself brings life to Accrington. You've got Corley's, which put events on after the match and like midweek, but like not like midweek as in like a Wednesday. It could be like Friday night. They're not doing like a party like Wednesday going on to midnight. Like, they are respectful of that. And then it's also within the hospitality. They can have Christmas parties, weddings, and there's loads of different events that happen in there. We have been told we have to close the hospitality. It's only allowed to be open on match days until 7:30. And that is going to be the same with Corley's. There's been weddings cancelled. There's been parties cancelled. There's been acts that have had to be cancelled because it can't be opened any later than 7:30. There's going to be jobs lost at Accrington because of this and because of the threat that it is now imposing. There is a petition that has been set up by fans, which I am more than, if you don't mind, I will share in the group chat and any way that you want.
Of course.
Yeah. People can get involved with, because this will have such a massive impact, not only on the club and the finances, but also the people that aren't fans of Accrington but still want to go for a drink in Corley's. Or it's like, I know there's some people that they've had their weddings cancelled and like their wedding parties cancelled because of this, and it's the impact that it will have. So there's going to be nothing from 7:30. So I don't know how they're going to work night matches, because they kick off at 7:45. So technically we're 15 minutes after it should be. So it's honestly, it's a joke at this point. It's been going on for ages. It's just now it's hit where they're getting, like, they've closed it. And I think it was, it's live on the website, what the board and things have said, and it was like people complaining about the noise because they want to be hearing the birds chirping outside. You live in Aki, the only thing you're going to hear is a crow. Like, you ain't going to be hearing nice little birds chirping. Like, what do you expect? I mean, you might get a duck once in a while, I don't know why, but like, that's most thing that you're going to get. But honestly,
we've got to get that on a t-shirt, like, you live in Aki, all you're going to hear is a crow. See, that's been the comment of the night.
Absolute Karens, mate.
The thing that bugs me, though, about it is that Harburn Council have listened to these 4 people. I'm sorry, but you live near a football stadium. That football stadium, you know, Rebecca probably won't mind me saying it, that teams like Burnley and Accrington, the towns that we've got, probably the same for you as well, Rochdale, we're all little parts, you know, of cities, your Manchester and stuff like that. that get all that income. We get nothing. Our money is generated from the success of our football club that filters throughout the town because of the work that the football club does in the community. You take that away from the heart of the community, and what are you doing? My argument to Harburn Council, if they come across this as well, the absolute W's and something that holds a ball. Yeah, them. Is the fact that they use the cricket pitch and want to create IMEP and have these big events there. And I think it's when is it? Is it back end of the year where they've got, I think on the Friday, they've got someone like Chesney Oates performing for 40 quid. And then on the Saturday, you've got Clean Bandit and Sam Ryder for like 78 quid. But the thing were, they had Jeff Glynn on there last year. And the way it was set up was so poor. Like you was queuing the whole way around the cricket pitch for a piss. To get a drink was just absolutely like it was so backwards. I don't get how they can say that the football club can't do this, but the cricket, it's all right for the cricket pitch and stuff. They need, to be fair, Taki, they need to get out of Harburn. And I'd say probably something like where the sports hub is. Is it Thornley Summit Road in it? I forgot the name of it. But something around there, build a stadium around there, get out away from Harburn because they are arseholes who are tight-fisted and clearly just think about themselves. Wow. I'm fed up with it. The North gets enough shit as it is. I'm sorry, it really does. But when you get people like that are more just penny pinching, you live next to a stadium. You live next to a football stadium. Get a grip.
I don't know what they expect.
It annoys me.
Like I know for us, that money would, like what Accrington get, could save us because we have comedy nights, we have weddings. My friend's literally getting married at Morecambe and having her have to do that like next month, and she's paid a hell of a lot of money for it. So God knows what Aki price range is because what she's paid is a lot. And I just think if you're moaning about a bit of noise on the Tuesday night or a Friday night when they've got a comedy act on or they've got something else on or there's a wedding on a Saturday, like people are allowed to get married. Like they can't stop people from getting married. And the fact that they've cancelled people's weddings that they've paid for and they're not going to get this money back because I know how it works. Like
there is an old lady in Burnley who rings up every single match day on a Tuesday, rings the football club and says, your floodlights are shining into my house. I'm trying to go to bed. And they said, listen, we've had this debate with you since like the late 90s, you silly cow. Like, it's not happening. Like, it's not even directed into your window. It's not in your window. They've even said it's not in your window. Like, they've had it checked, made sure, asked the trajectory and everything else, and she still rings up. It's like, get a grip. Like Sean Dash says, utter woke nonsense.
You buy a house, you rent a house. You should know, like, the noise is going to be loud. Like, I don't understand why they're complaining. If you don't want it, sell your house and move. Like, bye, see you later. But don't affect the football club like Accrington, Burnley, Morecambe, Rochdale, anyone, because the heart of the community is right there. And if they didn't have the events that Aki now had to start, if we suddenly had to stop our events because we live next to houses, like we're literally on the verge of a council estate, why the hell should we stop doing what we're doing that's making us a hell of a lot of money? And I think if you care that much, you should think about that before you buy or rent a house there. Like,
they don't value success. They don't value success. Before we ever got into the Premier League, we literally had £1 land. We got to Premier League. We've now got 4 big spenders, right? That's what I mean. This is what we're trying to contend against. This is what we're trying to contend against. People seem to think that the town should make enough money as it is. It's not. You've got shops that are there, in different units, and then the week after, it's closed down. It's moved 3 doors down because the rent's cheaper. It's so bad, and I know this is taking it away from football a bit, but football is the heart of a community, and I think for especially a town like Accrington, it's the club's success that builds these little towns like ourselves. They've ripped the heart out of a community of the council. and they've got big shoes to fill. I think they'll have realised the mistake they've made when the petition comes in. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah, I just don't know how they're going to work Tuesday night games then, because that's quite a kick off. Like, what are you going to do? Stand outside?
Rebecca's going to be going round back at houses at midnight, just slapping wheelie bins, like bang, bang, bang.
What baffles me about it is, one, it's over 4 people, despite the fact much more people use the facilities provided by Akron than those 4. Second of all, I'm sure the reason that the cricket club can host all these events is because they don't live next to these 4 absolute morons to use some more polite language towards it. But
how far is the cricket ground from the stadium, though, Bex?
I'm not sure. I don't think it's far because there's like loads of advertising for the cricket ground.
Yeah.
Everywhere you turn, there's like, I think it's because the IMEP, whatever legacy. I think they're a big sponsor of the women's team, so we have a lot of their advertisement round. So it's like you walk into the ground and you've just got Sam Ryder's face just like there. Just what you want.
Yeah.
But
sorry guys, so my plan now is to go to Cardiff and say I live in Cardiff and the ground's too loud for me. So they can lose their facilities. What the fuck? Where do you make that logic? Where do you listen to 4 people and go, yeah?
It's like you've listened to 4 people over
4 people over
the
because I'm sure those 4 people bring more income to the council than a ground that brings 3,000 people and that these clubs and stuff that host all this stuff. So I'm sure those 4 people put mega money into the council. Or off, grow up.
Do you know what? Do you know what I find more baffling? That people's willing to park with 40 quid to watch Chesney Hawks.
What I mentioned there again. Well, Dan mentioned having to loop around the entire cricket ground to have a piss. I feel like that would be better than actually listening to the concert. Yeah, fair enough.
I think like the last thing on this is, I don't like, if anyone has ever been to Aki, you can see how much time and effort has been put into designing Corley's and also hospitality. And it's like we take so much pride in what we've been able to do with the 1968 lounge. I mean, like the transformation that we've had of Aki and like the money that we get from being able to host the events and everything keeps the club afloat at the end of the day. So it's one of them, unless like the council want to support the club and actually try and think of a way to get around it rather than just forcing them to cancel everything. But it's another thing of the amount of money that this will cost Aki, not only just in the cancellations, but also what are we now going to have to do to be able to try and get these events back on and to be able to try and get everything back. Because I know recently I did some work for Accrington for like just uni things. And I was doing promotion for the hospitality and Corley's. And there was like acts on it after the match. And it was such an incredible feeling when you're like filming everything and getting, like, I was promoting it. And it was just such a nice thing of everyone was happy and everyone was enjoying themselves. But like you walk a bit away from the ground, like when I'd finished, you couldn't hear a thing. So it's really, I don't even know what to say at this point, but I will get the petition link sent over, and then if you don't mind sharing it, just so we can try and see what we can do.
Of course. Graham has put, sorry, that killed me when Johnny's actually took the time to check.
It's a 40-minute walk, man.
40-minute walk.
I'm so sorry.
My thought process there was A, he's either Googled it, or 2, he's been to Accrington that many times and he's done that walk that many times.
It's just took him 14 minutes.
Oh, yes.
It's around the corner, but it needed a break.
It's a 12-minute walk.
The thing is, 14 minutes is round the corner, really, isn't it? Like, by the time
Exactly. So 4 people can
by the time you've walked round the stadium, you're at the cricket pitch, that's it.
I'm so sorry. That really did tickle me.
Can you tell me how long, Johnny, it took me to wait for a piss when I went to see Jess Glynn as well? Because I was queuing all the way around the cricket pitch for that.
Well, I think that's taking you longer. I think that's taking you longer than the 14-minute walk, mate. But I think these 4 people just don't like Acton and Stanley because I'm sure they can hear the cricket club louder. So
Blackburn fans, Bex, that's what they are. Dirty, horrible Blackburn fans.
Blackburn
Scum.
I reckon that 14 minutes is how long the Chesney Hawks concert's going to last.
I'll get a photo on the advertisement.
Well, to be fair, that 14 minutes is probably how long you can last listening to the shite. Okay, now, dearie me.
Oh, that really tickled me. Sorry, my belly's hurting from laughing. So the League Two table. Always checking for you.
I had this camera in the bathroom where I was watching.
If you find that on Google, then screenshot it and send it us, Johnny.
I'll be more worried if he tells me it was 2 hours and 60 odd seconds you was waiting. You was wearing dark pants and a white t-shirt.
The piss lasted approximately 27 seconds.
And I only know because I'd done the walk from Aki's ground beforehand and I was stood behind you in the queue.
League Two table. So the top of the League Two table, we have Walsall on 68 points, Bradford a second on 66 points, Doncaster Rovers a third on 62 points, Notts County a fourth on 61 points, AFC Wimbledon a fifth on 60 points, Port Vale a sixth on 58 points, and Crewe Alexandra a seventh on 56 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have in 23rd Morecambe on 29 points, and Carlisle United are the bottom of League Two on 27 points. Johnny has put as well, I need a good laugh after the week I had. Oh,
Well,
I
Johnny,
remember you mentioning it.
How long was the piss, Johnny? We got to find this out now.
So, League One. Sorry, got a bad cough. Any standouts on League One? Kieran, I'll come to you first. Standouts in League One.
Oh, fantastic!
You weren't looking, so I thought I'd catch you off guard.
I wasn't
I know, I
looking,
do it to everyone.
No, fair play, you did well there.
I know.
I'm not going to be boring and say Birmingham because they win every bloody week, don't they? I mean, Bolton picking up a win. You know, they've had the managerial change and all that, and they probably shouldn't be a League One club given history and attendances and all that stuff. But Burton continuing to struggle despite how many additions they had over the entirety of the season. And I mean, other than that, Crawley looked down, probably. You know, I understand Radin are a decent side, but I can see them probably going down as well.
Any other standouts on here for anyone? I'll leave the floor open to you all.
There's a lot of draws.
A lot of draws.
Northampton's win over Leighton Orient is probably the standout, I would say.
100%.
I know I'm sure they'll be very happy in the old chat about that. So, but they're really outsourced now. I think I struggle to see Leighton Orient making the playoffs now, to be honest. I think the old, cup hangover now has got to them now. I can see their season just petering out. Of course, that might change, but at this moment in time, it's hard to see now where they get the wins from. If, with no disrespect to Northampton, they can't beat the likes of them at home. So, but yeah, that's a big win for Northampton in terms of keeping them away from that bottom four still. It opens up the gap a little bit more for them.
Mansfield are struggling, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they were near top 7 when they first half of the season, but they've kind of fallen apart. But I mean, they'll probably still stay up anyway, which I believe probably would have been their aim from the get-go.
I think I'm finally going to get. I know we don't normally. I don't normally get things right, as in picking teams to go up or anything. But I picked Shrewsbury to go down this season. I think that's pretty much nailed on, isn't it? So
after picking them to go up beforehand.
But I think Blackpool away to Barnsley. Big win then, and obviously we've seen the end now. Michael Duff's been sacked as Barnsley manager, so I think that's not a great appointment by Barnes. It's not worked out for them or for Michael Duff. So wouldn't it be interesting to see who they get next? Because obviously there's been a few managerial shake-ups, hasn't there, in the last couple of weeks? So it'll be interesting to see who they get.
I thought it was Huddersfield he was at, even though Barnsley did sack their manager, didn't they?
Yeah, it's Darryl Clark.
Darryl Clark, sorry, Huddersfield, sorry, Michael Duff.
Yeah, Duff did get sacked though.
Yeah, he did.
He got sacked. I just couldn't remember where he was at.
Yeah, we both did. Don't worry.
And he was in Yorkshire.
Yeah,
they're both Yorkshire teams, and it's good enough.
Yeah, sorry about that, but yeah, I mean,
no, don't be sorry.
Yeah, it just wasn't the right appointment at the right time, was it? And I think the same with Darryl Clark at Barnes. It's just wrong man, wrong time, I think. And it'd be interesting to see if it was both of them. Was they're both
massive
clubs in this league.
Just sorry, I've got a yawn. Oh. Just going to the chat. So obviously Sean has sent his match report in. Leighton Orient away. We went 1-0 up. Tyler Roberts latching onto a Terry Taylor corner. Then Cam McGeehan made it 2-0 at half-time. Second half, we conceded a goal to Charlie Kelman. Hashtag up the Shoe Army. And then he's also put, Tyler is missing Saturday's game due to his loan from Brum, but we're starting to get a lot of players back from injury. Oh, that's good.
Fantastic news.
Johnny's put Charlton drawing to Stockport. And then Graham has mentioned as well, Stockport away, not much to say. A game of few chances. We edged the first half. Stockport edged the second. So a fair result, as I think it was more of a game neither side wanted to lose rather than win. As well, Kyle has put, Huddersfield should have won. Rovers need to keep losing instead. Let me quickly go to the midweek games. So we've got Birmingham 2, Stevenage 1, Blackpool 2, Cambridge United 1, Bristol Rovers 3, Bolton Wanderers 2. What a game. What a really good win for Bristol Rovers as well. Crawley lost to Charlton 1-0, Exeter City 2, Mansfield 0, and Reading 2, Wrexham 0. Any standouts for anyone?
Reading
Yeah.
Yeah, especially that they lost the manager to Hull as well. You know, like he did a cracking job there. And they've just kept on going, haven't they? It's been a really, really good start. I hope if they get into players, I hope they go up. To be honest, I really like Reading this, and the fact that they've come back from the brink, like time and time again. And I'd love to see them get back up where they belong. To be honest.
And obviously Bristol Rovers, that's a massive win for them.
Yeah,
Bolton have really been in form, haven't they? Schumacher got manager of the month. That's
Did he?
Why? Yeah.
The old curse.
I'm sure he did. Or he got nominated, one of the two, but I'm sure he did. Everyone's saying about Reading. I know we've not spent much time on League One, but I promise I will start with League One next week. Obviously, we have gone over a little bit for time, but
Claire's back.
Claire will be back. So top of the League One table, we have Birmingham on 82 points. Wycombe Wanderers a second on 68 points. Wrexham a third, also on 68 points. Charlton Athletic a fourth on 63 points. Stockport County a fifth on 62 points. Bolton Wanderers a sixth on 60 points. And then at the bottom in the relegation zone, we have Burton Albion, who are 21st on 33 points. Crawley Town are 22nd on 30 points. Cambridge United are 23rd on 29 points. And bottom of the League One table, we have Shrewsbury Town on 28 points. So, Championship. Anne, do you want to go first?
Oh, no, I think we'll let Dan the Man get Burnley.
Dan the Man, do you want to go first? Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Can I just read out Graham's match report? He's just sent it before we move on.
Go on.
So sorry. Crawley away. Huge win as this was our game in hand. Tough physical game. We had more chances and could have won by more. Up to fourth. 5 points clear of seventh. 5 points off second.
Yeah. And to be fair, Wigan have kind of hit a bit of a run as well where they can't get a win. So you never know down there. They might have a chance.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about that, Dan. Go ahead.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, big shock to the system. I didn't expect a 4-0 win over Luton. Massive win, really. Especially after the sort of dodgy game at Cardiff, where we lost our clean sheet. And we sort of, I didn't know how we would be from that point. If anything, I was wanting that goal to come Cardiff the week before, because it's been sort of a hoodoo on our back that I think you can sometimes carry too long, because you're trying to protect that more than trying to put the ball in the back of the net at the opposite end. But we did it to summer plum that game. Absolutely made Luton look like amateurs. I feel for Luton in a sense, because of, they've been on such a high. There was everybody's underdog in the Premier League, and now they're looking at potentially back-to-back relegations. It's a real sucker punch for them. But no, I think it was a resounding win, which we needed. But we need to keep that mentality going, because the scorelines change week in, week out. You don't know whether you're going to get a 0-0 Burnley, just a 1-0 Burnley, or you're going to get a Burnley that will turn up and put a team to the sword. Not going to spend much time on this game, to be fair, because I've got a lot to say about the West Brom game, even though there weren't that many goals. But it's good to obviously keep momentum on trying to keep third and put more, try and scare the top two a bit and give ourselves a bit of daylight between ourselves and Ants Max.
I think we're out of it, mate, to be fair. I think we're playoffs, but you never know.
I think we are, to be fair. I think we are. I don't know whether you want me to touch on Tuesday now or do Tuesdays shortly, but
I'm in the same boat that I've got more to talk about the Tuesday night game than about
yeah.
win, to be honest. I'll briefly go over Saturday. We were all right, I suppose. Started off really, really well. Scored a really good goal through Eliza Mayenda, who's on fire at the minute. And, he's got 18 goal contributions this season. He spent half it on the bench. He's been unbelievable. If something comes away from this season is that we've got, obviously Wilson Isidore, who can score, worldies, but miss sitters. But Eliza Mayenda, who's just turned into one of the best strikers in the Championship, and he's only 19, so that'll be unreal. I can't wait to see how he's going to progress. But he gave us the lead. Then we did the usual Sunderland, thing that we've been doing all season. We sat back on a 1-0. Anthony Patterson makes another error. They equalise. Then Patterson makes up for his error by making one of the saves of the season. And then, just when it's heading into, a boring 1-1 draw, we a lovely free kick set piece kind of move, which resulted Chris Mepham tapping in for his first goal for the club. So over the moon for him. I'm sure Kieran will be happy as well, being a Welshman. Over the moon for him. Yeah, it was a massive win, and the kind of.
But yeah, Kieran's got something to shout about.
Chris Mepham, Sunderland's finest, even though he has no relevance to Sunderland until now.
So yeah, I mean, it gave us that, that kind of momentum that we think we can kind of do it, and then we balls up on Tuesday. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But I was happy with that, because beating because we obviously didn't beat Hull, losing that that really good home form, and we didn't beat Hull, who were down there. We didn't beat Plymouth, who were down there. So to beat a team who are down there, to beat them relatively convincingly was all right. But yeah, on to Tuesday.
Go on.
Just quickly, Ryan has asked, I know I'm late, but give me some good Sunderland news. Mundo goal of the season. Looking at playoffs, are you still holding out for possible automatics?
I think I think it's playoffs now. I think the way that Reggie's came out in today's press conference saying he's wanting to give, wanting to, through the Absolutely National League, they want to monitor players, the minutes and the time they give these players. I think they're kind of thinking they want to have a really good bash at the playoffs, I think. But we need to start getting into form for it, because there's so many teams whoever comes in whether it's Coventry, whether it's Bristol City, even Middlesbrough have still got a chance, Watford have got a chance. There's going to be teams who come in and form, and I think, if whoever comes third out of Sheffield United, Burnley or Leeds, I kind of think, like, especially if it's Sheffield United, I think you can kind of like go with them because I think they'll probably be so gutted about not finishing second, whereas Burnley were like a bit away from it at the start of the season. So I don't know if it's that much of a go on them. I think obviously with Sheffield United being there for so long, I think it'll be gutting on them. So I kind of want Sheffield United not to go up automatically, and there's no disrespect to them at all, but I think they'll be more beatable in the playoffs. But see what happens. I'll speak about Mundo's goal on the Tuesday game because it was a canny goal.
Yeah, I just wanted to say on the Saturday game that massive shout out to Ashley Barnes. Knew he was going to come back. Well, came back to Burnley, and a stroke of genius really, because we needed a father figure, someone who can put their arm around the younger lads and actually just tell them what it means to the club. You know how much he calls this place home. For him to put the ball in the back of the net against Kaminsky, who's a former Blackburn keeper as well, who likes to run his mouth and give it all this to fans. It's always nice when Barnes shuts him up. And Lyle Foster, for him to finally open his account for the season, I were a bit miffed that he was benched for Tuesday's game because I thought Parker would have thought for confidence to play him again. But yeah, all in all, a solid win over Luton, and just happy for the players to get that hoodoo of 0-0s off the back.
Just quickly before we move on to Tuesday, we will bring up obviously the weekend's championship results. I will come to you actually, Dan. Is there any standouts on here or any you didn't really expect or any you want to talk about?
Oh, shall we talk about the unwashed down the M65? Oh, lovely. Let's start with them losing 2 cup finals this season. Turning up at Derby County in snake masks and snakes around the neck, giving it to John Eustace for leaving Blackburn in a playoff position for a team that looks like they could potentially be going down. It's justice. Absolute justice. I love it. They deserve everything they get. They're so fickle. Can't stand them. Just blue and white shirt. I'm so glad they got beat. And I want Venkis to come and see it for themselves, how much of a shambles it is, because it's funny to watch.
Ryan has put as well, Derby County getting wins at the right time, the Eustace effect, ?
Massively. He's a quality manager. And when he went to Blackburn, I actually thought, you know what, fair enough, they'll do well this year. And they did. And then he did the right thing for himself.
Yeah.
Totally respect that. Because Blackburn were punching above the weight due to him, and you can see how much the wheels have fallen off. You know, not just Saturday's game, obviously Tuesday's game, which we're not going to talk about them. But yeah, Stoke did a job on them on Tuesday, so I don't want to give them too much airtime. Can't stand them. Bye. No playoffs. Yoo-hoo.
Sam has put, for God's sake, Dan, get off the fence and say what you really feel about Blackburn.
Oh, mate, your bleep machine doesn't work overtime long enough.
You know what? I will say one thing about Blackburn. Like, obviously, when we played them around about Christmas time, I would love to sign Tyrese Dolan. Like,
he's a good player. He's a good player.
He's a good player for them. Like, he is such a good footballer.
Just a shame
Definitely.
He plays for, right, Dan?
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's the one other game I probably would have Pompey Leeds.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, nobody expected that on the Sunday. To be fair, I went for a walk up Pendle Hill on Sunday. I needed to get my head straight, so I thought, right, go out on a walk. Got to the bottom of the hill and thought, oh, I've got signal. Let's have a look. And just a nice little bit of positivity. You know, it's just what I needed. Just what I needed.
Once more.
And then Tuesday came about.
Yeah.
I will say for that Portsmouth game as well, their goalkeeper made 3 or 4 outstanding saves as well.
Yeah.
Phenomenal saves, yeah.
And you know what? That's Portsmouth. Like, they were dead and buried, weren't they, around about like December time, and they've just picked up this home form. That's just got them away from it, and that's all you need to do. You know, you need to win your own games, win your games against the teams around it, which is what they've been doing. But even that, I mean, that was just a free hit, wasn't it? to be fair to them, they deserved it. You know, that they defended so well. The goalkeeper was excellent. They scored. They took the chance when they got it. They were outstanding. They were really, really good. Like, and you know what? Next season, if they can invest properly, they'll be a team to watch out for, Portsmouth. You know what I mean? Like, now that they've stopped up, you know, get a little bit of money behind them, you know, invest properly in the team. You know, they're going to be, I know they lost the other night, but, you know, they're going to be a team to watch next year.
100%.
Any other standouts for anyone?
I don't want to make this about the Frank Lampard show, but Coventry 97th minute winner, Bobby Thomas.
Yeah.
Especially after getting to us, they got pegged back up and they conceded 5 minutes from time as well. So to react like that very quickly to get another result, and against obviously the, you know, ex-man in Mark Robbins as well, that would have well, I don't really know how Coventry fans would have felt about it, to be honest, because obviously a lot of them weren't fans of him going anyway. But I mean, you can't complain about the results they're picking up now. I mean, obviously I know Tuesday didn't go to plan for them, but it's still keeping them in that pack, though, is it? But I would have said the Portsmouth game as well, because no one expects that. I mean, there was us thinking after they beat Sunderland that, you know, that Leeds were promoted, and now suddenly there's only 4 points in it, and you know, Burnley are going to push them all the way to the end now. I think probably for Anna's, I think he probably is looking at playoffs now. I think it probably is just going to be a little bit too much now for Sunderland to catch up on, but I certainly wouldn't say that Leeds are done yet, because 9 games to go, and there's still a lot of points played, but there's only 4 points in it. Anyone's game now.
Just going back to the chat, Ryan has put, you may think I'm crazy. How close are QPR to making a run to at least the playoffs in the next season or two? Always tough to play them at Loftus Road.
Yeah, the bother is with QPR, they go on these runs where, especially under this manager now, they either win loads or lose loads. There's no middle ground with them. You know what I mean? I think they won 6 in a row, didn't they? Got them into contention, then they've gone off again. And that's there where I'd be more worried rather about the Sheffield Wednesdays of this world than I would do QPR, must be honest. But he's right about Loftus Road. It's a difficult place to go and get anything, to be fair.
QPR remind me of Preston. If you remember, Preston always used to flirt around the playoffs and then do nothing.
Yeah.
Just going back as well to the chat, obviously, Johnny has sent in his match report. So it's Sheffield United 1, Preston North End 0. So Preston, very poor in the first half, but happy we got the goal in the second half. With Campbell, Cooper keeps another clean sheet for Tuesday against Bristol City. We started well, but we were okay, and fair play to Bristol, but we should have had a penalty at the end, but happy still to be second in the league.
It was a penalty as well, but that just shows the officiating at this level. It's shocking, to be honest. And you've got to really see as well, I suppose, if you're Johnny, that you should have been 2-1 down, because Cooper makes one of the saves of the season, you know, and you know, if that goes in, it's 2-1. And to be fair to Bristol City, I think I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago as well. Liam Manning, considering what he's gone through this season, has done an absolutely magnificent job there.
Yeah, brilliant.
You know,
absolutely brilliant.
I hope they get in the playoffs for him. I hope we beat them. You know what I mean, or whatever. You know, because I think we've got to go down there at some point. But I would really like, as much as it probably mean at Coventry's expense or West Brom's expense, I would love to see Bristol City in there. You know, just to, you know, top off what would be a magnificent season for him. Like, considering, like, see, he lost a kid and everything, it couldn't have gone any worse for him, could it? But he's just got back, done his job well, and they're flying now. Like, they are absolutely flying.
Just before we got onto obviously Burnley and Sunderland, we will quickly just talk about the other games. So, Jen, is there any standouts for you on here?
I'd probably say Derby County getting a win against Coventry. Yeah. That's massive for them, especially being bottom of the table. That will help build the confidence up, hopefully, and try and get out that relegation zone. But that was definitely a good game for Derby to win.
Rebecca, any for you?
Yeah, no, I agree with Jen. Derby, I think they're now 1 point off Cardiff. So they're proper getting themselves back into getting out of the relegation. So yeah, it was a huge win, and it was great to get the run. I mean, it's 2 matches, but you see what 1 win can do to a team.
Kieran, any standouts for you on here? What hasn't been mentioned?
Oh, I was going to say that Cardiff lost again. Very pleased. Anyway,
big win for Luton, that game, to be fair.
It is.
It is a big win for Luton, yeah. Given, again, it's bizarre that, they're in this scenario, given where they were last year. But another one, Plymouth winning away, especially after, Portsmouth picked up that massive result against Leeds.
Say the Sheffield Wednesday one as well.
Yeah.
I think were they 2-0 down against Norwich?
We're 2-0 down, yeah, they were, yeah.
Yeah, Plymouth weren't exactly in the, they're not exactly blessed with a fantastic away record, but that result's massive towards their potentially slim but bid for survival regardless.
Do you know what? It's opened it right up though. Like I know Stoke won as well, though, didn't it? But it's bringing brought Cardiff into it. Oxford are dropping like a stone as well. Although Gary Rowett had a really good start, they've dropped like a stone there. They lost to Hull, another big result for Hull. It's going to make it very, very interesting. I think it's going to go down the last game of the season, I think, for like a fair few things. Obviously, top of the table, I think will. Whoever gets in the playoffs, I think will go down the last game. And I think the relegation race is really hotting up. But if we said this maybe, 4 or 5 weeks ago, you probably thought Luton were down, Plymouth were down, and possibly Derby. And now they're all starting to hit form. So it's going to be a really, really interesting last 9 games. Best league in the world, this, telling you.
Ryan has put, do you all remember such a tight relegation battle like this one before?
Not for a little while, no. Not in this division, no. There's normally like one or two tailed off, isn't there? And then there's one more. I think a couple of years ago was it when Burton stopped up and Rotherham stopped up on the last day, and they relegated a couple of teams. I can't remember who that was, but that was about 4 or 5 years ago, and that was quite tight. But,
This made me laugh. Graham put Sheffield Wednesday scored 3 times in 12 minutes. Could walk to a cricket ground in that time.
2 minutes out of the piss queue as well.
There was also in that game one of the best goalmouth scrambles you'll ever see with Josh Windass scoring. It was fun, absolutely unreal. He's had a couple of goals this season he's had, which have been like proper like old school goals. Like fair play to him.
Sure, Dan's buzzing with a result at the bottom as well. I'm sure he's.
I know.
Absolutely buzzing with it. Look at that cheeky grin. He's proper happy about it.
Right. You guys decide who wants to speak first about your games.
All right. Do you know what? Again, it's one of these games where it was on a Tuesday night. It was absolutely freezing cold. I think the fans were flat as well. We actually didn't play too badly first. So we dominated the game. We just couldn't create anything. And then out of the blue, we put in a lovely ball across for Wilson, who just needs to cushion his header, and it's 1-0. And I think he thinks he's offside, to be honest, and he ends up heads it wide. And it just reminds us of a game like last season under Dodsey where we had plenty of the ball, didn't show anything for it. And I'd said at half time to a couple of mates, I thought, we'll lose this because it's Sunderland. And then it came to pass where, Reece scores. I mean, it's a lovely goal for Preston. Really, really good finish. And he's a good player as well. Reece, the big number 9, he's like an old-fashioned striker. And I think he's out of contract at the end of the season. I wouldn't mind seeing us go for him, to be honest. So he scores. And then Preston decides that they're going to waste time in the most blatantly obvious ways possible. One of their players, I think it's Ryan Porteous, goes down, claiming a head injury, but no one touched him. He just dropped like a stone. We probably should have had a penalty when Wilson gets nudged. I think it's in the same incident. He gets nudged in the back where he's about to score. And then one of their players, he'd already been booked, the right back, and he went down with cramp and all that, suddenly recovered. And then they were bringing him off. And there was already a little bit of pent-up frustration about the penalty incident. And he goes down as they're bringing him off. So he sits back down again as they're about to take him off. And then, they were saying, Sunderland players basically saying, well, you're going off anyway, so just get up. But so, Mepham picks him up, tries to push him off the pitch. He goes down again. And then, they eventually get him off. Another player goes down. They get him off, make 3 subs, but only 2 come off. And like, the referees just some they get laughing at it. So like the fans are like, well, hang on, these have got 12 on the pitch. And I guarantee if one of our coaches hadn't gone over to the fourth official and said, they've got 12 on here, the game would have played on. And because of that, like kind of, it got the fans involved, it got the fans riled, it got the players riled, to be honest. And literally just after that, we score, for me, the goal of the season. I don't think you'll see a better goal than this season through Romain Munderou. It cuts it on his right foot, just bends it, and it goes like up and loops down, and it's just exactly into the top corner. You know, it's a wonderful strike. And for me, like I say, it's the best goal I've seen for a long time this season. It was an absolute pearler. And I thought we'd go on and win it, to be honest. I thought that was what we needed. There was 9 minutes added on. I think there should have been more, to be honest. I think we probably should have been played till midnight, the amount of time that was wasted. But we couldn't manage to get over the line. We couldn't get that second goal. We had a couple of like half opportunities, but it was just a disappointing game. I think that's why we won't go up automatically, because of everything else that happened that day. Obviously, Burnley dropped points, Sheffield United dropped points, so we could have been like 6 points behind. I would have been a little bit more hopeful, but I think, you know, we've just got to be winning them games, and we didn't. So I think it's playoffs for us. I'm more than happy with that. Like I keep on saying, if you give me 4th now, I would have bit your hand off at the start of the season. I really would. We've got a difficult one on Saturday because we've got Coventry, and they'll be steaming after losing Derby. But I think we beat Coventry, to be honest. I really do. I think Coventry, they concede a lot of silly goals. They did it again on Saturday when I watched one with Sam Gallagher. The goalkeeper came out, waved at the ball, and Sam Gallagher scores. I do think it's currently one of them sides we always struggled against, especially away from home. But it's just one of them things where I think we're probably better than them. So, but we'll see what happens on Saturday. I'll be on here next week talking about getting beat 3-0. So it is what it is. But onwards and upwards.
Dan?
I'm hoping you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. My bud's died. But no, to be fair, it's all right. Ask someone in the chat. They'll tell me how long it takes for them to charge up anyway. But no, Tuesday night was something else. West Brom started the game very, very strongly. Got on the front foot. Every time we got the ball, there were it were man for man. The issue I had was the referee, Gavin Ward. It was like he'd refereed his first ever game. It was poor officiating. And it's not just from the Burnley side of things as well. Even Tony Mowbray said the same thing, that the referee had a shocker. I have never once seen a referee. Burnley announced a substitution for Hannibal to come off, and the referee tells Hannibal to wait on the pitch a moment while he deals with something, and then lets the game continue. So then Burnley announced over the Tannoy system that the substitution has been paused for the time being. The guy, honestly, he didn't know his arse from his hands. A corner was given for goal kicks were given for corners. It was just absolutely something else, and I don't understand where it came from. I really, really don't. But 1-1 was probably the justified result of the game. West Brom came in with a game plan. I wanted us to really get in the face of Adam Armstrong, because I think he was one booking away from a 2-game suspension, and being a former Blackburn player, it's always nice to let them miss games. So yeah, there was part of it where a point was a fair result, but you were walking away from Turf Moor really, really like you could kill a man. The best thing today, though, was finding out the news that CJ Egan-Riley's sending off at full time has been rescinded. So I'm so happy about that, and just we need waiting to find out what happens for Scott Parker. Whether his red card will be rescinded, but that'll take longer. So he'll still be in the dugout against Swansea this weekend.
It's worrying, Dan, isn't it? Like I mentioned, obviously in our game, the referee, and you've mentioned in yours. I mean, I forgot to mention before in the Cardiff game, we had like a lad who went down in the box, and it was either one thing, like three things he could have given, like either a corner to us because he thinks the player's got the ball, a penalty to us because he doesn't think the player's got the ball, or a free kick to Cardiff because he thinks that our players, dived. Yeah. And what he did was he stopped the play altogether. Didn't know, like he obviously didn't have a clue what had happened. I didn't know what to do. Laughed, gave a drop ball to Cardiff. I was like, well, why? Like, it's just it baffles us how this is like. These are going to be Premier League. Some of these are going to be Premier League referees in 2, 3, 4 years.
Well,
time.
To be fair, their goal came from a free kick that shouldn't have been a free kick.
Yeah,
it's pretty much. He was giving free kicks. If your defender actually put a foot out to defend, like he's paid to do, all of a sudden it's a free kick. It's like ridiculous. It's not just that. The foul was in the D. John Swift then takes the ball about 4 yards back, outside of the D, to give himself more of a vantage point for the goal. Don't get me wrong, sweet finish, and you'd love it. But we basically got a tap in because of their keeper, is it Joe Wildsmith, who basically spilled it, and Zion Fleming, who I've not really rated, to be honest, and that's only because at Millwall he was a number 10 and at Burnley he's played as a number 9, and for some stupid reason, we've not played him as a 10 and played Foster as a 9 up top. It's madness, but we seem to be getting results from somewhere. Don't know how, but it seems to be working. I think just as a club, we've been spoilt with the sort of football we've had under Company. Everyone sort of expects that same mentality, and they don't realise that now we've still got a bit of the football side, but we've also got a bit of the old dash stuff of having to go long at times because you need to. Fans are fickle. Everybody's fan base has got those fickle fans. But yeah, I'd snap your hand off for the playoffs now, to be fair. I do want... I'm not looking at Leeds. I'm looking more at Sheffield United. They've got more mistakes in them than Leeds have. So that's if I
haven't been that impressed by Sheffield United. I don't mean to sound
not at all.
We beat them on New Year's Day, and I think we should have beaten them at their place. I think obviously we missed a penalty and they got a goal at the end and all that stuff. But but that's just it's kind of a showing of a good side, and when you haven't played well probably all season and they're still there or thereabouts, but they're still in the top 2. And you got to remember as well the 2-point deduction. You look at them top of the league. And they haven't played well, and everyone's waxing everything about Leeds, rightfully so, because they've been excellent. But they would still only be second to a side who hasn't played well all season. But that's a massive game in it on Sunday. Them against Chef Weds. I fancy Chef Wed in that game. Gotta be honest.
Yeah, got to be. Danny Rowe's done a fantastic job. He'll be a Premier League manager at some point. I think he's done remarkable at Sheffield Wednesday. I think you can see how bitter Wilder is after defeats or dropping points against Bristol City out. He just spits his dummy out. I don't like that. I just don't like Chris. I used to have a bit of time for Chris Wilder, but now I just think, quote Roy Keane, he's a baby. He's a baby.
Right, let's have a look at the table. So, Championship table and top of the table, we do have Leeds United on 79 points, Sheffield United a second on 77 points, Burnley a third on 75 points, Sunderland a fourth on 69 points, West Brom are fifth on 56 points, and Coventry City are sixth. Sorry, don't know what I'm saying now. I'm tired.
There might be seventh come Saturday at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, who knows? They are sixth, on 56 points. And then in the relegation zone, in 22nd, we have Derby County on 35 points, Luton Town a 23rd on 34 points, and Plymouth Argyle are bottom of the Championship on 33 points. Johnny's mentioned as well, they've been scraping results some parts of the season.
But they keep winning, and that's it's a good thing to have, and like I say, I've watched them maybe 5 or 6 times this season, twice against us. I've watched them a few times on Sky, where they've just been like they've just found ways to win. They've been like their goalkeeper is the best keeper in the Championship, I think, and I think he's kept them in the game. And I'm saying that against James Trafford, who's conceded 11 goals all season. You know what I mean? But
come on, leaps and bounds this year, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the amount of work he's put in this year, and he looks a really, really good goalkeeper. So he was with Plymouth money last year, and he did wonders there, didn't he? And
yeah, Cooper. Yeah, I think we wanted him before Sheffield United as well, because I think he was one of the names we were going to bring in if Trafford did go to Newcastle.
Yeah.
End of the podcast.
Yes, there we go.
It's been a long one tonight. We've covered a lot as well. But thank you to everybody for joining us in the chat. Thank you to everybody here as well. There's been a lot of us tonight. So of course, there's a lot of us that people will want to see our own content as well. So Dan, we will start with you. Where can everybody find you?
Well, you can see my old chat. Just bring up a piece of post for me, the address. It's been a while since I've posted, to be fair. I've been a little bit quiet on YouTube and stuff, but I'm still quite vocal on Twitter and X and whatever you want to call it. So yeah, just at Turf Morehouse on X and Instagram. And thanks again for having me, more importantly. Thank you.
Don't thank me. You're part of the team. You're welcome anytime. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Where can everybody find you if you want more Ben in their lives?
I don't think there's many people that want that, trust me.
Oh, we love you, Ben. We love you.
What's with the negativity now?
Ben Stones FC1 on Twitter if you want to see us just diminish our playoff hopes and dreams, all in one go, which I'm sure I'll be saying again after Saturday, but we know we go again. But yeah, that's where the place if you want to find me.
Anne.
Hello.
Where can everybody... Sorry, I tried to not come to you, but then I thought I'll do it in order.
I was just texting me dad, sorry.
Do not worry. Where can everybody find you?
Again, I'm being quite quiet lately, but I'm _Watson on Twitter, and at HowWayPod if you want to listen to Sunderland Women podcasts. That's now going to be out on Spotify every week because we found a way to get this on Spotify. So there you go. But I'm not on that at the minute, so I don't think you can find me. I haven't been on it for about 6 weeks, so just I want to say actually quickly. I know a couple of listen to it. Just thanks to that team who've took the mantle because I've obviously been a little bit away with what's happening with my dad and all that. So just want to thank Molly, Charlotte, and the rest of the team for really picking that up and stepping up when I needed you to. So cheers, everyone.
Rebecca, where can everybody find you?
Being silent at 7:30 around Aki.
I know.
Nice.
Classic wheelie bin lid. Punching crows.
Going outside the houses.
We probably need to make a T-shirt of all that. You fall back all your leaves a crow. That's honestly that'll live with me until the day I die. I thought it was so funny.
Of all things, you can find me _Rebecca _shot_, and that is on Twitter and TikTok. You can find my Her Game 2 content at Her Game 2 ASFC and Her Game 2 Ice Hockey, and hopefully celebrating a Dundee win on Sunday.
Hey.
Kieran! Yay!
On a Saturday.
Yeah, get me back to Tuesdays.
Oh, as well, I forgot to ask you, Rebecca. I missed it before. How many did you beat Newport by?
I think it were 5.
I've got tickets for 5.
Just make sure.
It could have been 7 though, which I never thought I'd say in an Aki match. Like we could have won 7-0.
I said that. Yeah, you should have been more clinical. You only scored 5 against the Newport County defence of a former Taunton Town defender. Come on, sort it out.
Kieran, where can everybody find you? I mean, we've missed you.
Crying.
That's literally exact. I was gonna say. Yeah. an emotional wreck inside a wheelie bin in Newport somewhere, probably next to Rodney Parade, where I'm allowed to be loud after 7:30. Yeah, but Kieran Media on literally every bloody social media platform. I've been quiet on Twitter because bloody hell, I hate that platform now. I don't know what it is. I had a switch mainly, so I'm mainly on TikTok now. But I'll be back on the Twitter one day whinging about Newport conceding 7 to Harrogate, probably.
Jen, where can everybody find you?
So it's Jen Hunt _ on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, all of them. Hopefully not crying on Saturday, but we'll see what happens.
Oh. And if anybody does want to find me, I am SharX RAFC. That is on Twitter, Instagram, on TikTok as well. My Her Game 2 stuff is Rochdale HGT. But of course, the main socials. We are the Absolute Football Podcast. Yes, we are going to milk it until November. We did win Best New Content Creator at the Football Content Awards. It happened. It really did happen, I promise. And we're going to forever say it. Forever. But you can catch us on Twitter. We are Absolute Ball Pod. On YouTube and Twitch, we are Absolute Football Podcast. On TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod. On Instagram, we are Absolute Football Podcast _. On Blue Skies, I forgot the name then for a second. We are Absolute Football. And on Facebook, we are the Absolute Football Podcast. On a Tuesday, you can catch us for our Absolutely Premier League and European show. On Wednesday, you can catch us for our Absolutely Women's Football show. And then we are the Lower League Crew. As everyone calls us, we are the Rowdy Rabble. And we cover all things EFL Championship, League 1, League 2, Vanarama National League, and the Vanarama National League North and South. And obviously, all of those shows, as you can see, are on at 8:30. You can join in the live chat.
My photo really doesn't fit in with everyone else. You're all smiling, and I'm sat there like, no, it doesn't fit.
Yeah, you can join in the live chat as well, as everybody has on YouTube tonight, on Twitter, on Twitch, and everybody that has taken part. We do appreciate you coming in each show every single week. New people as well. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, just thank you so much. Hope you all have a lovely weekend and good luck to all your teams.